There is a podcast about an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for more than 200 years.
Hello, welcome back to Could It Be, an Oak Island podcast. We are your hosts, Deidre and Dustin White.
Hey, how's it going? I am feeling good.
We're back.
We're back.
It's been a while.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy has the last month been?
Well, in the words of Alex, it's an 11.
Yeah, right?
Non-stop.
It's been an 11, yeah. So, sorry, everybody, that we haven't been here for a while, but we're going to put on a great show today.
Be dazzled, to be a real Bobby Dazzler.
Yeah, it should be. And, yeah, we're back.
I'm excited. I feel like hopefully I haven't forgot how to podcast.
Yeah, I think it'll come back to us, right?
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. You know, you continue to get better. I got all my notes laid out here.
Yeah, you got like, what, 7, 8 pages all spread out in a row?
Just in one section. And then I have another pile over here because I want to be properly prepared.
Well, good job. I think you're properly prepared.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. So what's been going on other than finishing up the season of Oak Island?
Well, let's see here. We're always working on a treasure hunt or 12.
Yeah.
And one we've been really deep into lately.
Oh, yeah.
We've done a bit of traveling.
Yes.
We've had some stuff going on with the kids.
Yep. As always.
As always, you know, being parents, that's the way we roll.
Yeah, you know, it was fun. When we were traveling, we did get a chance to go to some museums.
Oh, yes.
And one of my favorite things to say, you were probably getting really annoyed of it, but
probably
we would walk by something and it would have like an artist, you know, like it painted or it was completed on this date, you know, this year or whatever. And, you know, anytime I saw a painting that was before 1795, I would be like, oh, that one right there, that's before the discovery of the money pit. That's how old that thing is.
Yes, and then you'd be like, well, that's not older than the money pit for other ones. I'm like, do you realize how old the money pit is? You can't gauge everything off the age of the money pit.
I just wasn't as impressed with the things that weren't as old or older than the discovery of the money pit.
Are you older than the money pit?
No.
Then I guess you're not that impressive. Oh. Burn. Ouch.
So is nobody impressive that's alive today?
I guess not.
Okay. I think they are. I think I am.
Well, I think they are. You're the one that has the problem with things not being older than the money pit.
I'm talking about painting, okay?
Sure.
I wasn't talking about people.
You were just, but you compare it to everything.
Only art.
Only art. I guess you're kind of new into the world of art, so...
Yeah. But that was fun. I thought that was funny. I thought it was funny. You probably didn't think it was as funny.
It was funny the first, 6 times. Oh, and then we've got something going on this weekend.
Yeah, we've got a big treasure hunt. Well, it's local where we live. It's like a regional treasure hunt, but it's the one that kind of started our ball rolling into the world of armchair treasure hunts.
Start us down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so the Portland Rose Festival Medallion Treasure Hunt starts on Saturday.
Woo woo!
And we're real excited. We're hoping to find it again. But, you know, it's just fun. Like, only one person gets to win these things, and so it's really hard when you're, you know, looking and also thousands of other people are looking. That makes it really difficult. But it can be done. I've done it.
Yes, and we've met so many cool people along the way. And, you know, if I think you're about to get it and I see it, I'm totally pushing you out of the way because it will be mine.
Yeah, okay.
And I won't share.
Well, okay. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if you can actually push me out of the way.
Well, you know...
I've lost 60 pounds, so it might be easier now.
Actually, that's true.
But I still don't think you're going to be able to just push me out of the way if I have my hand, you know, nearly grabbing the thing.
It's a little late for me to start pumping iron in order to be strong enough to push you over, though.
Yeah, you know, one of my favorite things to do is, like, when we go to the grocery store, Deidre will be, like, grabbing something off the bottom shelf, and she'll be squatting down to get it, and I'll just, like, push her over.
It's really mean. Do you hear him saying his favorite thing to do is to be mean to me?
It's funny.
feel sorry for me. It's funny.
You think it's funny,
I push
too.
people down. No, actually, it really irritates me.
I don't like tackle her or anything. I just kind of nudge her and she just does the rest herself. I don't really push her. Just more of a
You
nudge.
just you like stiff arm me.
No.
And
I'd like nudge you with my
topple
knee.
me over. No. Okay, I just gave you an out with like a stiff arm, but instead now you're like cracking me with your knee?
No, I said nudge. It's
Nudge.
barely even putting any pressure on you. You don't need that much pressure to make somebody tip over when they're in the squatting position, okay?
Do you hear this? I mean, he's bananas. Bananas.
Bananas.
Yes. And we are super excited for this because we didn't get to participate last year.
Yeah, we went to New York City to try to dig up buried treasure instead. And
we were out of town. It was really sad.
I'm glad we did what we did, though, because that was a lot of fun.
That was a cool trip.
Yeah, that was before we went to the Met, and that place is awesome. I'd love to go back. But that was before I started comparing the date or the age of everything to the discovery of the money pit.
Oh, thank goodness.
Because everything would have been older than the money pit there.
Man.
Okay, maybe not everything,
That
but
would
a
have
lot.
been rough. Because I really enjoyed the Met. But if you had that little piece of knowledge in your back pocket when we were there. Well,
of course
yeah,
I knew it, but
weren't...
it wasn't something I harped on about, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm okay if you just kind of tuck that away. Anyway,
I'll save it for a rainy day.
So that's going on this weekend.
Yes, and I'm going to win.
Okay, whatever. I'm going to win.
Hey, if you win, that's cool.
And we hope to talk about it a bit more while it's happening. It's about 2 weeks long.
Yep. The treasure hunt begins this Saturday, May 25th, and it runs through June 7th. And there is going to be probably, who knows, up to 10,000 people running around the 5-county search area looking for this thing. And you get one clue every single day for this 14-day period. It's always found by the last clue. So someone's going to find it. I want it to be one of us, probably me.
Or maybe root for me.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm going to find it.
Yeah, I'd rather find it personally to give me a little more treasure hunting clout.
What about me?
Meh.
Meh.
Hey, you're the host of a treasure hunting podcast right here.
Well, so are you.
No, I'm the co-host. You're the host.
What's that have to do with anything?
Well, this is what you got. Good job. We're going to talk more about it on a podcast, and that is what?
On a podcast?
Yes.
Are we going to be guests on a podcast?
No.
No.
I think we are going to be beginning a brand new podcast this week.
What?
In addition to this one.
Yes.
Because we will still keep this one going. It might be another month or so before we get another episode. Maybe a couple weeks. Not exactly sure how this is going to run because, we don't got a TV show to recap every week anymore.
We're kicking around some ideas.
We do have some ideas, and we've already talked about one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to know what that one is, it's going to be a mystery until we either put out the podcast or you go back and listen to the prior episode where we talked about it.
Ooh. Well, the one we are talking about, the new podcast, we've been kicking around this for a long time, even before we started talking about the Oak Island podcast.
Yep.
But we have finally come up with a name, and that seems to be the clincher.
Yeah, and it works really good. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And we get to discuss our ideas, not about just, who knows, we might even talk a little bit of Oak Island on it. But primarily, it's going to be about all sorts of treasure hunts all around the world.
Yes, we're going to be casting a wide net about armchair treasure hunts, boots on the ground treasure hunts, combinations thereof, historical treasures,
legends,
all
sorts of fun stuff.
All kinds of good stuff.
So what's the new podcast going to be called?
The new podcast? Keep an eye out for Boots and Armchairs. Woo! A treasure hunters podcast.
That's it.
That's the one.
It's going to be fun.
Boots and Armchairs.
Do I get to be the host of that one?
If you really want.
Nah, you do a good job.
I mean, you seem to think you need some more treasure hunter clout.
No, I get it by finding treasure. It's
cool. Oi. Anyways, keep an eye out for that one. Hopefully it'll be coming soon. We plan to talk about the Rhodes Festival medallion hunt. Maybe I can't believe I'm putting this out there, but maybe each day we'll hop on with something real short, say what the clue is, brainstorm real shortly, and get it on out there.
Wow, that's pretty.
That's a big commitment.
It is a big commitment.
I'm going to put it out there.
We've been having trouble putting out this podcast for almost a month.
I was just thinking about that. It's taken us a month to do the season finale.
Mm-hmm. And now you want to like start a new podcast that you do every day for at least 2 weeks.
No, it would only be for up to 2 weeks because someone might find it before.
It could be, yeah, that's right.
It's just a way to get us started and rocking and rolling.
I'll probably go out there and find it on like day 3.
Okay.
Anyway,
I think they're done with us.
If you want to hear more of us talking about just different treasure hunts, you're gonna have to tune in and subscribe to our new podcast. And that's one more time. What is it called?
Boots and Armchairs.
A Treasure Hunters podcast.
Hey, I think we just made our intro.
Yeah, boom.
Shakalaka.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. We're excited. And, we're going to probably cover some treasure hunts that have already been solved first.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We were really involved in an armchair treasure hunt. You had to basically read the book, try to figure out where they wanted you to go, and then you had to go somewhere, do a real boots on the ground expedition, and pick up a treasure, and then you won $50,000. That one was called
Breakfast, Tea, and Bourbon.
Yes.
I didn't know you were throwing the ball to me there.
I wasn't actually. I was like, oh wait, what was it called?
I definitely thought you were throwing the ball to me.
Breakfast, Tea, and Bourbon. There's all sorts of other ones. We won the second place prize for Map of the Dead, and that's something we're definitely gonna touch on. And
that's a true armchair treasure hunt.
Yeah, that one didn't require you leaving your couch or your armchair or your bed or whatever.
We've been talking about doing this for a long time, and I'm super excited that we're committed to giving it a shot and having this outlet to talk about all these treasure hunts and with other people that may be interested.
Yes. So look forward to that sometime the next week, and then hopefully we'll have another Could It Be podcast in the next couple weeks as well. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should wait until after the medallion to get that next one going, but soon. So in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll probably have another one on this feed. But we also have one more podcast we're kicking around. It's more of a nostalgia podcast, but we're not ready to start recording that yet. Let's see how the treasure hunting one goes first.
Yep.
And, Deidre and I, we like a lot of throwbacks, right?
Yep.
That's something we're really interested in.
If you
exploring.
can't tell, because most of our references are to old school pop culture or
like what?
Or 90s music or yeah, I think they know we're dated.
Yeah, I get people still making fun of me all the time about the MySpace thing and the whatever.
I still make fun of you for it all the time.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's all good. So look forward. We got some fun stuff coming. At least we hope it'll be fun.
It'll be fun for us.
It'll be fun for us, and I'm sure a couple people might like to listen to.
And you know what they're actually here for?
What's that?
To hear us talk about the season finale of Oak Island.
And digging deeper, right?
Oh,
or was it? Is that what it was?
No, it was a drilling down.
My bad, drilling down.
See.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's talk about it then, right?
Okay, and to be clear, so we are going to be talking about the finale and the drilling down. We are not talking about Curse of Civil War gold that rolled into the end of the finale.
Yeah, we were actually kicking around the idea of kind of continuing this podcast doing a review of Civil War gold. And it sounds like a great idea. I'd really like to do it. It's a fun show, but I just don't know that we're going to have time to do that kind of stuff.
Yep, we're looking to switch gears a little bit, and I think this is a way to keep things fresh and still in the treasure hunting world for anybody that wants to follow along. But for today, you may see us blending the finale and the drilling down as far as those conversations go, but that's what we're going to try to focus on here today.
Try.
So
before we do that,
oh my gosh.
Since we're going to try to focus on that, let's have one little tangent first.
Oh, okay? We've had 15 minutes of tangent.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we've got, remember we were talking about the Amazing Race and Oak Island, right? So we put out there to the world, hey, who would you like to see from Oak Island running the Amazing Race together? And we got a handful of suggestions. And I'm just going to read off a couple of them. I'm not going to
Okay.
dwell on it. But we had Billy and Vanessa as a team. What do you think?
No, Billy's part of my team, so.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh, no. He can be on Vanessa's team, and Vanessa can be on his team.
Don't you think it'd be better if Vanessa and Danny the Pirate were on a team together since they
Yes.
work together?
Arr. Yeah, I like that one.
What did he say that one time? Remember?
That's what we're looking for.
Oh, yeah, he was like an Irish pirate or Irish a leprechaun pirate. I forgot.
Okay, what's the other one?
We had another one, just this one, Marty and Alex.
Well, that seems fairly straightforward.
Yeah, that would make sense, and they'd probably be a good team.
Yeah,
they're
they
both
probably
real logical people.
would probably confuse them a lot because they look like each other.
Yeah. Okay. You know who really looks like Alex? I can't pronounce his name. Rochefoucauld. Or no,
Looks like Alex?
yeah, the Duke of Danville.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right.
Is that what it's called? Danville?
Yeah, Duke D'Anville.
Yeah. Man, he looks just like Alex. Like when they
Get
put
that
that picture
painting?
up. Yeah, that picture of him up all the time. We'll talk about it again later. But man,
That's
they
right.
look exactly alike to me.
I forgot about that conversation.
Yeah. Well, we try not to talk much about Oak Island, like a lot anyway, outside of the podcast because we want to save the good stuff for the podcast. But yeah, like I every time
That
I see
was
that
funny.
thing, it just looks just like him to me.
So what you're saying is it's within the Lagina bloodline.
Oh, do you see all the Knights Templar stuff at Mari Vineyard?
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, well, there you go. So
New conspiracy. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right, who else we got?
All right, then we've got, how about Rick and Dave Blankenship? That could be a fun one.
Rick and Dave. Yeah, that could be fun.
It's kind of an odd couple kind of thing,
It is.
And it would be a lot of fun to watch them do what they do. And then, every time, they do an occasional challenge where you have to like slam like a thing of beer at Oktoberfest or something. I could definitely see Dave going for something like that. He'd be like, this is mine. This is my roadblock.
And there's always
detour or
something
whatever.
really dirty, like where they have to run around in the mud.
Rick. Boom.
Rick's got it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
that could be a good
That could be
team.
a strong team. Some
Yeah.
good spats in there, too.
Oh, totally. Another one was Alex and Peter.
Okay.
That would make sense. A couple of young guys going out there and just running all over the world.
I'm very curious how they would interact with each other in those situations, though.
I don't know. I bet you Alex would take the lead.
Maybe. Maybe Peter would surprise us.
I would hope so. That'd be really fun. That'd be cool.
Yeah, be good. That'd be good.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. Okay, and how about... And then we had Doug and Paul. Those guys are brains.
They are brains. I'm trying to compare them to a different Amazing Race team, and I can't think of anybody else like them.
Not quite like them, but they would probably out-strategize everybody else.
And that's true. I bet you they could solve puzzles very quickly.
Oh, yeah, I bet they could. But
I bet you they'd read the whole clue
yes.
and
bet
not
they
get
would.
lost because they didn't read the whole clue.
I know. We watched The Amazing Race last night, and the team charged up this set of stairs where they had to count each step, and it was 272 steps, and one team didn't even grab the clue before they went up there, and they had to turn around, come back down, and figure out what they did wrong.
Yeah. Read the whole clue, guys.
Yeah. And then actually count the right number of steps. There was one team that like went up the steps like 3 or 4 times because they couldn't figure out how many steps there were. It's like, come on. All right. So anyway, by far the most popular team pairing was Jack Bagley and Gary Drayton.
Well, duh.
Yeah. They're like
Peas in a
perfect.
pod.
They're perfect for the
Yes.
Amazing Race.
They complement each other so well.
Yeah.
Be a lot of funny moments there. I can see some off-roading and oh yeah. They
Yeah.
would just like wipe up. They'd be like team fun.
Team fun.
The fun meter is like out of control.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, everybody that did send in a suggestion for an Oak Island Amazing Race team, thank you for participating. If I didn't read yours on here, sorry about that. But it was a fun thing to just think about. And I think a lot of these guys would have a lot of fun on the Amazing Race.
They would. Do it. Do it.
Yeah. So before the episode of the season finale aired, they made a big deal about this is going to be the biggest breakthrough in Oak Island history. And
yeah, what was it?
well, that's what everybody was trying to figure out after the episode aired. They're like, huh? Like nothing happened, right?
Yeah, what was the breakthrough?
There wasn't one.
Oh,
Not during
are
that
they
episode.
talking about the tree thing? Maybe
What tree thing?
the Evanstone and Appeal to Heaven flag. Is that what they're really pushing as the aha?
I don't think so. But they're actually, I think they're keeping that in the back of their mind for, that they, even in the, what was it, the drilling down, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the drilling down, I think they even said when they were sitting around the table, they're like, yeah, well, could still have something to do with the American Revolution. So they're not dismissing that theory completely.
No, I can see why we wouldn't dismiss it, but I don't think drawing the parallel of those two things.
Yeah. Well, it was weird. I don't know. Yeah, that whole segment was weird. We'll get to that, but what was that?
Oh, I just broke a protractor.
Oh.
Whoops.
Well, what the heck? Maybe
Sorry.
I needed that protractor, you jerk.
You don't even know how to use a protractor.
Oh, believe me, I do.
Do not. All right. Anyways.
I used to. Okay. Anyway, so they had like a poll on the Facebook page for the Curse of Oak Island, and it said, tell us what you think the Leginas may find during the season finale. And it had two choices. It had a Freemason artifact or a Viking ship, right? And I clicked on Viking ship, and that was 34%, and Freemason artifact was 66%. Okay, so I was in the minority, but I was like, isn't there going to be anything like a Viking ship or a Freemason artifact in this episode?
No.
I mean,
I feel like I missed something here.
Do they think that, or were they trying to suggest that the Evans Stone was a Freemason artifact? But then not even talk about it being a Freemason artifact in the episode? Like, I mean...
Well, they did talk about founding fathers and stuff being Freemasons, so maybe that's what
I just
the parallel is.
They didn't, like, really harp on it, I guess, in the episode, and so I was just like, meh. Anyway, I just thought it was kind of weird that they would put out an announcement that it's going to be the biggest discovery ever, and then nothing happened. But on the drilling down the following week, that's when we got some real big news, so... Yeah, it was just weird, but
Whatever.
I think a lot of people were real excited, then let down that they kind of just went to the war room, talked a little bit, and then said, "Well, I guess that's a year," and took off.
Which is fine; they're allowed to do that.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of people forget that this is as much as of a TV show as a real treasure hunt. Like a real treasure hunt, you can't go and find treasure every single time you go looking, or else it would be called treasure finding.
Exactly.
So you're doing treasure hunting. If you find anything at all, there's people that treasure hunt for decades that don't find one little thing they're looking for. Mm-hmm. These guys find stuff all the time. So everyone just needs to be a little bit more happy and appreciative.
Not everybody. There are plenty of people that are happy.
But it would be great if people were a little more appreciative that they even let us have a window into what they're doing.
No, I totally agree. And I think...
because a lot of people were really not very happy after that episode online anyway. That's the easiest place to vent.
We call those keyboard warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, those people. So, I don't know. What do you think?
I think I actually just want to talk about the episode. And not...
I thought that's what we were talking about.
No, you're talking about that people are complaining. I want to talk about what actually happened in the episode, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages in front of me, so something happened.
Okay, tell me what happened. I'll listen.
Well, where do we want to start?
The beginning? The top? I don't know.
Okay, well, usually we go by area. So, all right, the first thing... we start out at Dan Blankenship's house.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Talking about the dendrochronology.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did I get that right?
Close enough.
1769.
Yeah, that was cool to see them be able to tell him, and we know that he has passed on, but it was cool that they were able to give him some kind of solid proof that something significant happened on the island. concrete proof that something happened before the discovery of the money pit in 1795.
That's exactly what he said. He's never really had concrete proof of age of structures and things like that.
Nothing 99.999%.
Yeah, I totally agree. But that was just a little short bit there at the beginning. But I think that was kind of what kicked us off and got us rocking and rolling before we headed out to Smith's Cove.
It was a good moment, though.
It was. I agree.
It was definitely feel good. Yeah. So what happened in Smith's Cove then?
Okay. So we have Billy out there.
Superstar.
Oh, that movie. Okay. So Billy wants to know how far back they're supposed to dig. He's out there like, guys, what do you want me to do? It's go time, right? And Marty says, well, I want to dig back. I want to dig right in the middle of this structure because, what was it, the U-shape? Yeah, the U-shaped structure, because obviously it was put there on purpose for a reason. Dig in the middle and straight on back.
Between where they're digging at that point and the U-shaped structure, that would be where Billy's wall is.
Mm-hmm. Billy's wall.
And yeah, they're just ultimately trying to find that convergence point, right?
That's the goal.
They're right on the brink of doing it, but they don't have any time left.
They don't, but Billy just keeps finding things.
Yeah, he just keeps digging anyway.
Well, and you see Laird in there with his trowel, and there's this point where he's in there, and he's digging with his trowel, and these chunks of clay just keep coming off, and he puts his little tiny trowel in there, and this whole chunk falls away, and you hear, holy crap.
Yeah, I have that as a Laird quote in here in my notes, too.
Oh my gosh, I just got a real chuckle out of that.
That was
and he's
funny.
like, turns around, Billy. Billy's kind of, he's the go-to in Smith's Cove. I've kind of renamed it Billy's Cove because he just keeps finding things.
He runs a show.
He does. What is it that Marty says to him? Well, the dang problem is that you can't do your job because you just keep finding things. And Billy says, yep, that is the trouble.
Yep.
Quit being so productive.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
Keep finding stuff, Billy. You're a hero. We haven't actually recorded another podcast since we learned that Billy won an award at the Screen Nova Scotia 2019 Awards for Film Crew Excellence.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a nice little picture that they put out with Billy having his trophy in his hand, and he's wearing a nice suit. I bet you anything that the slacks are cut at the knees, and,
we can't
and tailored
see it.
up. Yeah, and he's got some shorts on, but...
No, I don't know. That last episode, he was wearing pants the entire time.
Was he?
He was. In the war room and in the excavator.
Yeah, that's right. Billy's in the war room.
That's right.
Right where he belongs.
I know. Someone asked why he was in there, and my mind practically blew up. I almost lost it. Like, Billy's been there from the start. But he has now slowly creeped into everybody's hearts.
He is super important. He is the backbone of the work they're doing in Smith's Cove.
He is. That guy. He is so precise with his digging. Let me just give you an example. Do you remember in Smith's Cove? So he finds a wall, and then a couple feet away, he finds another wall. And somehow he manages to get the digger in there just between the two, and it barely fits. Barely. And then scoops it out. No problem. Surgical, Billy. Surgical. That's amazing. I could not do that. I do not have great hand-eye coordination.
He's kind of the best at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's there.
He kind of has the final word in the war room, too. Which is amazing.
And they're like, Billy has spoken.
That's actually how everybody's faces looked. I was like, wow, they all just kind of bowed to Billy. Because when he does say something, you listen.
Carries a lot of weight.
It does. It's a heavy moment.
Yeah, well, his words are important.
Well, so are Robert Cloutworthy, such as wooden boards packed with clay.
Yeah, he does that a few times.
More packed clay.
That's, you gotta, the Cloutworthy moment this week has got to be like all three of those just put into one.
All mixed together.
It should be, man. That was just really good.
There was a lot. It was like one right after another. The one about another wall, and well, they all get down there and ask, oh, what do you have? And Billy says, oh, we're hoping you can tell us. And Marty comes in and says he's going to tell him exactly what it is. And he calls it a sloosh box. Is that right?
Yeah, that's kind of like the channel, the thing that, the AKA aqueduct.
I was just going to say, sounds like the aqueducts that I was talking about earlier in the season. P.S. We got a new animation. We got a couple new ones out of this episode. Oh, yeah. I feel
Good
like
stuff.
got to hang on to those. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing as good as the pirate ship and the guy pushing out those giant crates of gold
by himself.
Man, I want a giant crate of gold. That's impressive.
Okay, well, I know probably something we're going to talk about on our new podcast will be like the Lost Dutchman's Mine.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go and
find that giant gold. Crates of gold out of the Dutchman's mine?
Sure. Or whatever's
I don't think they're just going to let me.
Well, nobody knows where it is.
Well, that's true, because it's lost.
It's lost.
Hate it when
that's
that
why
happens.
You go find it and you get the gold, silly.
Anyways.
And then you don't tell anybody where it is, and, we just have a gold
then it stays lost. Maybe someone's already doing that.
Oh, maybe. Doubtful.
I thought it was interesting that with all these new walls that were being found, so Charles was out there, and they were confirming with Charles that we don't have any record of these structures that they're finding. He's saying that everything he's looked at, that would mean that this is pre-Restalls.
Yeah, because Restalls took good notes and records, but everybody before them was kind of like, yeah, who cares? Let's just keep digging because we're about to find whatever.
Exactly. Typical treasure hunters.
Yep.
Why would they take notes? They don't think it's going to go on for hundreds of years later.
Pretty much. Yep.
That's how things like mines get lost.
Exactly. I don't know. Then go on to talk about the second wooden wall that was just 5 feet behind the first, right?
Just feet away?
Yeah.
There was a lot of walls. I feel like Billy has a lot of walls. Actually, Laird calls one of them a mystery wall.
I thought Rick called it the mystery wall.
Oh, really? I thought it was Laird. Either way, I kind of like the idea of mystery wall.
Yeah. Well, Rick was just saying all we can do is track it back and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
All they could do is keep going, but they're just running out of time.
But every time they track back, they find something else, and then they're running out of time because the weather, is gnarly if Billy's wearing pants.
Do you think Billy's like naming these walls after his kids or anything now? Like he's like, I got my wall. This one's for my wife. This one's for...
No, because Billy's like, I've got mine. You guys do whatever you want with the rest. That's what I think.
Yeah, he's probably on your bandwagon where you should just rename the whole thing to Billy's Cove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm sure Smith wouldn't like that, though.
Eh?
I bet you they're digging in Smith's Cove right now, because we know they're back at...
They're filming.
But
I don't know that they are. I know from what I've seen, they've cut holes in the wall and kind of flooded Smith's Cove again, right? So that there would be less pressure on the cofferdam.
Yeah, so they had to do holes in order to equalize the pressure.
Was that on the drilling down or something?
No, we saw that on one of the groups, because right now you're seeing a lot of the tours go through.
Yeah.
And people are putting up pictures and sharing about what Charles has said, things like that. It looked like possibly they were trying to pump out water. I thought I saw a pump somewhere. And if that's the case, then maybe they're patching up. Yeah, Who knows what the structural soundness of it is now after the winter.
They're working on the swamp, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's where their primary focus has got to be right now with that big target.
Well, okay, depending on how far back they got and how full the cove got, where they're trying to excavate at this point might be high enough up, especially if they were digging underneath the crane pad, that they don't need a cofferdam that's out so far, or who knows. Maybe they don't have to re-pump it out. I don't know. I got nothing.
I don't know either. We'll have to wait for season 7 to figure that out, probably. Huh?
We have to wait so long.
Or maybe we won't have to wait so long. Who knows?
I know. We're going to have to wait.
You know who knows?
Shadow knows. The Shadow knows everything.
Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of where the episode cuts away to some stuff going on in the swamp. But we do come back to Smith's Cove later on. And in my notes, I said, I wrote down that Laird and Billy are looking for the flood tunnel. And then there's a quote from Laird that says, "Holy crap," again. It says 2 times in this episode.
Oh,
So
Lord.
he's getting surprised.
He is.
He's like, whoa, I can't believe it.
When we get to that final scene in the war room, it's finally the point where you see Larry going, wow, I'm convinced this is a thing.
Yeah, well, right after that, Clotworthy pops up and says, a third wall. Found just a few feet from the other walls discovered just one day ago at Smith's Cove. Like,
That was a mouthful.
Yeah, well, that's what Clotworthy said.
I know. It's intense.
And then I noted that Billy is wearing pants.
Took you a while to catch up there. I'm apparently more concerned about the fashion.
Yeah, I guess.
Because, priorities.
Yeah. Well, you're part of a board of directors for some fashion thing at a high school, right?
Yeah, actually, there's a meeting there tonight.
Oh.
At 6.
Oh, goody.
I need to double check.
You can go after we record this and after you edit this podcast tonight, okay?
Sure, because I need permission from you.
Holy crap.
Good answer.
Anyway.
Okay, are we done in Smith's Cove? Should we talk about the swamp or the war room when we're talking to...
The theorists?
To thy theorists.
Which one do you want to talk about first? Doesn't bother me which.
Let's go with the theorists and end in swamp / war room.
Okay, so before I want to just get this out there real quick about the theorists.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Bruce Lindahl. Right?
Okay.
We had Justin Kennedy. And Court Lindahl was there via video conference, right?
Correct.
So we had these 3 guys. They're researchers about this Revolutionary War theory connecting the Founding Fathers to the treasure on Oak Island, right?
Correct.
Court, the guy that's the brother that was on video conferenced in.
Correct.
Did 99.99% of the talking.
That's true. I thought that was interesting.
Like, I think they got like 1 or 2 words in a piece. One of the guys, I don't think he even said a thing until he said like maybe 1 or 2 words when they were out at Smith's Cove or looking at the rock. Well, it was really weird. Like the guy that wasn't there was doing all the talking.
Well, they had probably talked to him before. This is when they could fit him in. The guy's not available to travel at that time for some reason. So they video conference him in. They fly the other guys out so someone can be boots on the ground. But I bet you they really needed Court because he's the one that can truly articulate the theory most eloquently, would be my guess. Usually in a group of researchers or treasure hunters, there's always that one person.
Yeah, that's me.
Sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess they worked with Zena Halpern, right?
Yes.
So that's cool.
That is very cool.
That's what they had. They had, a lot of their research had concerned that map that she provided, the map that was from 1347. Is that the right year?
I want to say that's the right year. The Hatch map, as I recall.
From the Rochefoucauld family. That's what name was on the map.
There was a fabulous Clotworthy moment in there, too.
Was there? What did it say?
Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, the founding fathers of blah, 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 blah. I don't know, but he really said Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin with some real zeal. I liked it.
Nice. I like that, too.
I was applauding it. You didn't even remember there was a moment in there.
Actually, I have it.
So
I have it written down word for word, and you said it wrong. So I wasn't going to correct you.
Said
but if you want me to, I'll gladly correct you.
You always correct me if you think you're right.
Robert Clotworthy says, at 27 minutes and 58 seconds into the episode, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, 2 of the founding fathers of the United States of America. Boom.
That's almost exactly what I said. No. I added blah, 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 blah at the end.
You said Thomas Jefferson first. It was Benjamin Franklin first, okay? Savvy? That's right. You just got owned, okay?
You think you're a pirate. And you think you're... No, you needs to calm down. I'm going to leave you here when I go treasure hunting for the medallion.
Go ahead. Go wherever you want. I'm going to go to the right place.
No, you're not. Losing. Anyways.
So they had talked about Doug and his ship log.
Correct.
Right? For the 1746 expedition to Nova Scotia by the French admiral known as Duc d'Anville.
Correct.
And in parentheses I put here, looks exactly like Alex Ladina.
Whole new conspiracy.
Yeah. He was also known as Jean-Baptiste Louis Frederic de Rochefoucauld.
Wow, I'm actually really impressed you said that because
That was my best performance ever.
Because
Boom.
you usually say things like quesadilla and buffet.
Okay, I speak in American, okay?
Well, that was not
American
the case
English.
right there. And not all Americans speak like that. It's... Oh.
Anyway, so Jean-Baptiste Louis Frederic de Rochefoucauld, boom, did it again. His son was Louis Alexander, right? And he was associated with Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin.
And he goes into their involvement about the Freemasons, Knights Templar, secret societies, George Washington being a Freemason, Nova Scotia, how...
It could have been the 13th colony, right?
Exactly, but they ended up splitting New Hampshire and Vermont.
Yep.
Which actually explains why they're shaped the way they are.
I guess, yeah, they're shaped really weird.
Yeah, I always thought it was kind of odd, but that actually makes sense now. The whole 13th thing.
13 was a big number for them, apparently.
Mm-hmm. And then we go to the Appeal to Heaven design, the tree. And Doug, jumps in right away, stating it's the right to revolt. Appeal to Heaven.
Yeah.
Thought it was interesting.
That is interesting. And
I don't know much about it, if I'm going to be real.
I had never come across this either, even though I've watched like countless documentaries and stuff about the Revolutionary War and read some books. Somehow this slipped past me too, but it's very interesting, and that's basically what they were doing. They were using their rights to revolt against the English Empire.
Exactly. And I recognize the symbol, but I guess I didn't equate the saying to it, but it makes sense now. And who is it that points out that there's something... Paul says that there's a stone with a similar symbol on the north side near...
The Boulderless Beach?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's lot 14. And yeah, they go to check it out eventually. They do call it it's also known as the tree flag.
Yes, the tree flag.
Yeah, and it was something that was created by George Washington, right? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I have another note here. Oh, because we were talking about 13 earlier, the 13 colonies and whatnot.
13 original colonies.
I could do all states in alphabetical order off of that if you want.
Please do not. I'm sorry. I did not mean to open that rabbit hole.
Alabama,
no, stop.
Alaska,
Make
Arizona,
it stop.
Arkansas, California, Colorado. I could do the whole
Please,
thing really fast.
Babe, I know.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
They don't need to know.
All right. That's cool. So they went into talking about how the 13th was important to like the Knights Templar, because that was when, on the first famous Friday the 13th, is when they were dissolved and disbanded and arrested and charged with treason.
Correct.
Because the King of France actually owed them a lot of money and didn't want to pay them.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of messed up?
That's kind of a way to skirt around your debts.
Hey, I have a lot of debts with you guys. You're all arrested.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. So that was King Philip IV of France.
Yikesos.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
That guy's a punk.
I don't know him personally because I don't time travel, but yeah, I hear.
Yeah, not a fan.
Nope.
Anyway, so that was, I guess, the first real, well, who knows if it was the first, but it was a real significant piece of the number 13 or whatever as far as the Knights Templar go. Like, it was important to them, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it was important to them.
Holy crap.
Okay, Laird. Let's see here. Marty offers to take him to see the Evans stone.
Yep, they go check it out, and what do they find?
They see the rock that says, was it R.W. Evans, August 9th, 1897, Chester, and what could be said tree flag thing.
Yeah. And then,
I think it looks like a quill, I've decided, though.
Yeah,
Too many branches, so it is now a feather.
Yeah, that's
Lies
funny.
a feather, stiff's a board. Lies a feather, stiff's a board.
What? Huh?
Practical magic?
What's that?
Never mind. It's a reference you wouldn't understand.
Is that a...
It's a movie.
Oh, it's a movie. Yeah.
You know, like from the time period that we're always flashing back to.
The 90s?
Mm-hmm. Actually, was it early? No, it was definitely late 90s.
Okay, that's cool.
Anyways, so they start counting.
Well, Bruce, Court's brother, goes out there and he's like, oh, look at this. Let's count these little... the branches of this tree or whatever, and he starts counting. He's like, oh, there's 13 and 13. Makes complete sense. It works perfect. You know, that's got to be what it is, right?
Until everybody's like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I rewatched that clip back, and it's really weird because the way he's pointing, and so you get this close-up, and he's pointing with his fingers, and it sounds like that his audio's been dubbed over that scene, counting to 13. So I don't know how that actually happened. And maybe it did happen that way, and I'm just reading too deep into it, but that is just how it flowed to me.
Yeah, I thought it was strange. Like, I went back and paused it and counted the leaves myself, or, you know, the branches myself, and I thought I saw 16 on one side and 18 on the other.
That's a bit different.
Yeah, and even if you're not counting the actual little branches and you're counting maybe the space between the branches, because maybe, you know, maybe each one of those is like the outline of a branch.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but you still get like 15 and 17, so it's like not
gonna happen.
Yeah. So
the question is this...
I thought Marty was looking like at him like they were crazy right after that. Okay.
Yeah, and they don't know much about this rock.
Yeah, it's the first time they've seen it.
Well,
I mean, I bet you they've seen pictures of it.
I mean, like the Oak Island team in general.
Oh, I thought
they know
of
it.
Theorists.
I mean, in general, I don't think there's been a ton of research done on it. I could be wrong. I mean, because they have some bigger fish to fry. That being said, it's one of those, is it just graffiti? Is it kind of like an old worker was carving something because they were bored and they had some downtime? Is it one of the random fishermen that came to the island and someone's like trying to play a prank because they know this is the appeal to heaven
design?
Yeah. And they don't think, oh, I should make sure it has 13 on each side. I feel like if that was a design that was highly significant to you, you would know it need to have the right amount of branches, right?
Well, it seems like George Washington specifically wanted 13 branches on each side, right?
Correct.
Because that was an important number to him. It would probably need to have that many branches.
Exactly. So, I don't know. I've never thought much about it, I guess.
I bet you they've thought a lot about it because it's something that is weird and has markings on it on Oak Island. And I bet you they've done a ton of research on it. I bet you they've seen the appeal to heaven flag, and it's just not something that they have had a lot of time to pursue. And they probably, you know, the year's wrapping up. They can't do a lot of digging. The money pit shut down, right? So they probably just need to bring somebody in to have something to talk about. You know, even though it's a cool theory, maybe it's still right. Who knows?
It could be. It could be that theory is still tied in, but it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with that stone either.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I don't know. It's hard to say what is going on with that stone, but obviously they thought it was important enough to put it in the finale to at least plant the seed. Get it? Tree, plant the seed. See what I did there?
That's pretty good.
I'm so punny.
Yes, you are. So, I don't know. They seem to still regard that information as something worthy to pursue because, like I said earlier, in the drilling down episode that came on a week later, said they were still talking about a little bit about founding father stuff in the Revolutionary War. So maybe, who knows? Maybe.
And even Marty says it does at least open up his thinking and brings in some new ideas, if you will, which is good.
After what's kind of been going down this year, Marty is really a lot more on board. Even though he seemed like he was hesitant at the end of this episode. Yeah. You know, he's a lot more on board than ever.
No, so, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's time to talk about the swamp.
Swamp. You've been asking for the swamp
all season long.
Year.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
And it's time. It's time. The last episode, let's talk about the swamp.
The time is now.
So we get to the swamp, and Eagle Canada is out there setting off the charges.
Yep, they are setting them up.
Most notable, who's there?
Alex.
The giant?
Could it be? Didn't you learn some neat information about Alex?
So Alex the Giant, or Alex,
Maybe we should not call him the giant. That feels mean.
well, he's huge.
He's very tall.
Yeah, he's really, really, really
He
tall.
could destroy you.
Okay, Alex the Giant is 6'7".
What?
You know,
Oh my god.
I thought he was taller than that, to be honest. I thought he was gonna be like 6'9" or something, 6'10". Yeah.
Man.
He's a giant dude, right? So he was the.
He could push you over.
He can probably push me over. I guarantee it. He was the first overall draft pick in the 2002 CFL draft, Canadian Football League.
Wow.
And he was drafted by the Ottawa Renegades, and it was an expansion draft, so that was like a brand new team at the time. So, but he was the number 1 overall pick.
And now he's blowing stuff up in the swamp?
Yeah. He's a smart dude.
Oh, I have no doubt. If he's doing this, he is a smart dude.
Yeah. So anyway, he, played in the Canadian Football League, and he is now working for Eagle Canada. And yeah, I guess he's probably really well known in Canada.
He has to be.
Yeah.
Canadian listeners, tell us more about him. I am intrigued.
Yeah. So that's Alex Gaither, I believe is how you pronounce his last name.
Awesome.
I'm a fan.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
You notice that they all met out there at night? At the swamp?
They did, yeah. Because they wanted to try to, minimize the noise pollution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that they could make sure to get the most pure of data, if you will, which makes sense when they explained it. Because at first, and they're all there at night, I'm like, are the days that short? Jeez.
Or maybe they were just keeping an eye on Charles Barkhouse. He's probably out there sneaking around doing something, right?
They're like, last time there were problems, Charles was out sneaking around at night. We're keeping an eye. That's funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just... I'm still a little surprised that they went back to Eagle Canada to do some more of this kind of seismic testing, because the results for the Money Pit and the Mega Bin were kind of mixed. They talked a big game at that presentation earlier in the year. They're like,
Yes.
yeah, this is a shaft, or yeah, this is some kind of cavity or whatever. I think they got everybody's hopes up. And so if my hopes were up that much, and then I don't know, are we going to ask them to do it again if we didn't find anything whatsoever the first time?
Well, here's the thing. They have pioneered this technology, and being able to do it at such a shallower level that they're kind of the innovators here. So really, you also have to remember that the Mega Bin and the Money Pit areas are very, very disturbed. Think of how many cores have gone down.
Yeah.
And digging through the ages. So we're seeing the anomalies are hard to see. Just me pulling back and thinking, okay, I could see where that would be a real challenge. And they were looking even deeper in that area, right?
Yeah.
Now, if we think about the swamp, it's it's an undisturbed area. Who's really been digging in the swamp?
Nobody really.
Except for our depositors, potentially.
Yeah. It wasn't... The person that's been most interested in the swamp, from what I can, from what they've said and what we can read and what we can tell, is Fred Nolan.
And Rick. They've done some metal detecting. It's really all been surface work done in the swamp.
Yeah.
Well, so that's interesting.
It's a hard area to work.
So that, to me, I guess that makes sense. It seems that they're taking a different approach because they are looking shallower. The explosives, the dynamite is a smaller amount, but there's way more charges. It's just... And then the fact that they're doing it at night, maybe they were concerned with the other one, Money Pit area. Maybe they're thinking they had some noise pollution too. So they're trying to minimize the amount of errors, I guess.
Yeah, and Alex himself, he said that they were a lot more confident, and even more confident at this point, than that they could image the swamp a lot better, because like you were saying, they're trying to refine this technology, and they're the pioneers of this technology, so it's really difficult to know what to expect when they're basically doing it for the first time.
Exactly. And that's the only reason, because I initially thought the same thing. Like, why would you go back if... But if you combine that data from the Money Pit area with what they're doing in the swamp, maybe we'll get something there, which it looks like they did when we get into the drilling down, when they're talking about where the different anomalies are.
Yeah.
But we can get into that whenever.
Yeah, pretty soon probably, because they kind of wrap up at the swamp and they tell them that it's going to be at least a month and a half before they get any kind of results. So they have to play a waiting game.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Marty asks how the data looks. Alex says that they only see the raw data when they shoot, and then it goes to a processor. They're going to process, they're going to stack the data and go through it, and they're going to need about a month to do that. Rick wants to know how long. You can tell he's chomping at the bit. Like, come on, give me info. You can't dig yet, so calm down. Give him a minute.
He's a patient guy, too.
I know, but he's excited.
Him and his brother both want that data. They want it real bad, but...
So does Craig. He's highly analytical.
Well, yeah. Craig wants it, too. That's true. They want the data, but they understand it's going to take some time to make it so that it looks like it could be something that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They can't just get the raw data and, they're not trained to put that information together like the Eagle Canada people. And Jeremy Church, I guess, is the guy from Eagle Canada that really compiles it all.
Mm-hmm. And well, it's like with any team. It's like with any team. You need to be able to have someone that can gather that data, do a good job at it, someone that can process it, someone that can refine it. It just takes people with different skill set to really be able to drill down on it. Should we talk about the data that we actually get?
Well, that's in the next episode. Why don't we just finish this one with, the war room meeting at the end of this, kind of like the farewell for the season.
Sure.
Then we could get into the drilling down and Maddie Blake.
Sweet.
Yep. So we go into the war room. Do you know who's missing? Because there's a lot of people in there.
Hang on. We go into the war room. I don't know. Who is missing? I don't remember taking a...
Attendance?
Yeah. Here.
I think the only person I noted that was missing was Peter, but he wasn't on the season very much as it is.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. It was crowded in there.
Well, I mentioned to you that Peter was missing. You said that you thought he was somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. I was like, he must be taking his finals. It must be finals time.
Because he must be a high schooler, right?
Because,
he looks like a baby.
I said that he was in college. You said, because he must be in high school. Because I kept thinking Alex Lagina was way younger than me. And then I found out we were both in our 30s. And I felt a little shameful.
Why?
Because I was like, I feel bad because I keep putting him as like this young kid category.
And he's like your equal.
And he's he's my equal in age. And I'm like, oh, man. And I feel like there are days I wake up and feel very old.
And so what? You haven't been given a lot of credit?
I haven't. I don't think I've been given.
Oh my gosh, you're kind of a hypocrite.
I know. I'm talking about ageism here.
Remember when you were a manager at the retail store back when you were like 18 years old?
Yes.
And people were like, "Oh, I'm not going to listen to that kid."
Really disrespectful and rude and.
Yeah, look at you now.
I know, and that's why I was really like ashamed and sad that I would do such a thing. But I caught myself.
Well, I'm ashamed too, but that's
You
okay.
should be ashamed. You're the one that pushes your wife over in the grocery store. You should be ashamed.
Meh. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
You're totally okay with that, huh?
I think it's funny.
I know you do. Just because it's funny doesn't mean it's not mean.
Next time I do it and she's not expecting it, I'm going to pull out my phone and record it and I'll put it on the Facebook page.
You're going to go live and be like, watch this.
Tip me over and pour me out.
Okay. Let's go back to the war room.
Yes.
So Peter is missing, but that's okay. He doesn't always have to be there.
And I think most everyone else is there.
Mm-hmm. Alex is there, but not in person. He's the one that's in via video conference.
And you had a theory of why he was in via video conference.
I had a theory.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the theory's been proven.
What?
Why? Because he all of a sudden is in Michigan.
That's where they live.
Yeah, because he's meeting with Civil War gold people. We all saw that. Why do you think that that's a theory when it's like, duh?
Well,
You see the next scene and he walks on out. Hi, guys.
is
Yay.
he wearing the same outfit?
Yes.
Oh, I
But
didn't.
that's what they do. I mean, they always all wear the same outfit. It's about being cohesive
You know what?
here.
It's funny because I just did not piece that together. I thought it was like,
You seriously didn't piece that together? Seriously?
yeah. I thought he was just not there, and there was no other reason for it.
Okay, so
I
right
didn't
now
know it
you're
was gonna.
telling me
I didn't know it was gonna blend into the
after
other
watching
thing.
this episode,
Twice.
yeah, seriously,
3
you
times.
didn't put together that he right after that just walked straight
I
into
saw
the
it.
scene for
Yes.
Civil War,
Yes.
and the reason that he telephoned in was because he was with the Civil War gold people. You did not put that together
didn't get-
till right now. I just want to make this clear. You did not put that together till this minute, and you watched the episode 3 times.
I thought he just must not have been there.
And then he just
He was
happened to be
he was
in
unavailable. I thought maybe he was doing his finals. Okay.
No, really? You didn't. It's just
I get
as
it.
seamless
I get it
as
now.
last year when they drive off Oak Island and drive straight to Civil War Gold.
I get it. I get it now. We're good.
Are you sure?
Yes. Okay, so
I bet you our listeners got it.
probably. So Gary is talking about
In the war room.
Yeah, he notes the discoveries in Smith's Cove were coming in almost on a daily basis.
Yes.
Probably not exactly that quickly. Because
Maybe.
Well, did they have probably like 100, 150 different discoveries? Probably not.
Maybe just in buttons alone.
That's true.
So take that.
Yeah.
What?
Well, we had the concrete wall. We had Billy's wall. We had.
Jeez, the concrete wall seems like forever ago.
Yeah, remember the pipes sticking out of it?
Yes. The rubber
And then we never even
pipes,
came back to them.
And then
It must not have been significant, huh?
I bet you it is highly significant. We also never came back to this whole foundation that Laird was digging out on one of the lots.
Oh, yeah. What was that, like lot 25 or something?
Something that
And
was
there was like
way early, and
you
they
thought
were
it was like a
pulling
basement or
pottery.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a area that hasn't even been explored.
Yeah, well, they just don't have enough time.
Jeez.
There's only one Laird, right? He's got to be over there. He's got to be on Smith's Cove. He's got to be at the money pit. Now he's got to be at the swamp.
Someone give me a shovel. Like,
You want to be Laird's apprentice?
yes.
I'd rather be like Gary's apprentice.
I'll be Billy's apprentice.
Ooh, boom.
Boom.
I'd be Billy's apprentice too.
Man,
I've
that'd
actually
be
run heavy
sweet.
equipment before.
Yeah, a forklift and what Billy does are different.
Okay.
We've had this discussion on here. You can't just go to Dozer Days and assume you are now a heavy equipment operator. That's just not how it works.
Well, if I'm his apprentice, he's going to train me.
And he's going to train me because I'm going to be way better at it than you.
Okay, fine. That's fine. I'll just learn how to metal detect. It's cool.
No, you weren't even interested till I brought up the other day getting a metal detector.
How the heck do you know what I'm interested in and what I'm not interested in, huh?
Are you serious? You didn't even put together that Alex, why he wasn't in the war room.
You know what? Leave me alone. You're being a bully, okay? I'm
whatever.
I'm not a bully when I push you over in the supermarket, but you're being a bully right now. I'm having fun.
Oh, well, me too. So that means I'm not a bully.
Okay.
So take that.
So, what else happened
I
in the war
don't
room
even
meeting?
know what we were talking about besides concrete being a long time ago.
We're
No,
talking about
I want to
Gary.
hang out with Laird. I need a trowel.
I'd probably rather hang out with Jack and just get the shovel and just start scooping.
But Jack's got Jack. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing too many throwbacks here.
Throwback. All right.
Throwback. War room.
Yeah, they discuss the finds in Smith's Cove, right?
Correct.
And lots of good stuff. We touched on some of them a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
Alex notes that they have evidence that things happened before the search process.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Marty's biggie for the season. That's what he
Mhm.
said, because of the dendrochronology results were like the big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like Laird's aha too.
Yeah, Marty used to think nothing happened except for searchers. Laird agreed. The wood dating changed their minds.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, a quarter of a century before the discovery of the money pit, things were being built on Oak Island that seemed to be directly in front of this convergence point for flood tunnel system and everything. That coincidence?
I think not.
Doubtful.
Well, I love that Marty asked Charles, if you were a betting guy, would you bet that something happened? You know, he's like, Charles was willing to bet his life that something happened. And he was like, whoa, like your house or whatever. And he's like, no, my life. And Jack's like, I'm willing to bet my car and my house, not my life.
He's not willing to put as much on the line as Charles.
Charles bet his life.
Look, Charles is already protecting the treasure with his life, right?
No, see, I think he wants to find it.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of conspiracy stuff out there, but Charles, that guy's wicked smart.
Yeah, he is.
And he wants to find it. But he has been around Oak Island a very long time. And he's willing to bet his life something's there. Yeah. I just thought it was funny that Jack chimed in with,
I'll bet my house.
And my car.
My car.
And everyone's like, okay, Charles just said he'd bet his life.
I wish I would have asked Rick, because he's certain.
No, everybody is. We get kind of a flashback of episode 1 with everybody of yes, of course, no doubt. Yeah, bookend episodes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Billy had some input, and like we said, everybody listened.
Yeah, I wrote down that Billy chimes in and says, you won't find the things they found on Oak Island anywhere else or on any other island in Mahone Bay. He believes something is down there. And then I wrote, Billy has spoken.
Billy has spoken. That's really what it felt like. He shut them all down.
He's like, no, something happened.
He's like, boom, drop the mic. Peace out, homies. I'll be out there with my heavy equipment doing the thing.
Yeah. Another funny thing about this meeting, a little bit before Billy was talking, Gary was talking about the hammer grab and how it was like an arcade claw game.
Right.
And he's like wondering every time it came out, is someone going to come up with it? Is going to get some kind of prize, you know?
Right. The claw.
It moves.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was thinking, yeah, Gary, that's how I see it too. I'm waiting for the little aliens to come out of the claw.
Another fun thing, or I don't know if it's fun, but I like Jack's response, but Marty was worrying that pre-money pit structures could have been withdrawals and not deposits. And he worries that it could be linked to the French helping the United States in the Revolutionary War, right? That is something to worry about. But Jack says, if they were withdrawing, wouldn't they shut off the flood tunnels? And everybody quickly agreed. And why would they cover it back up? You know,
so well.
Yeah. Why hide it if it's already all gone?
He has a point.
Jack impressed me with that.
That was good. I liked that.
Good retort, Jack.
Nicely placed.
Rick says something about he rests his case on the parchment and the bookbinding alone. Is that what it was?
Yeah, the parchment and the bookbinding. He's rests his case on that. That's hardcore.
They must know some more about that we don't know.
They have to.
Well, duh, right? But
naturally.
Why wouldn't they show us? You know, because we haven't seen a whole lot about that stuff this year. But
because there's too much to share and go through.
Yeah, it's tough. They need like a web series or something during the off season to just discuss a few of the finds and give us a little more details on them.
Well, I mean, they're not obligated to, so... And I feel bad because it seems they were at the island a long time this year. Everybody seems exhausted because it was definitely a go big or go home year. I don't know. I don't think they should push themselves for the length of time they did this next year.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, none of them are getting younger.
Nope. Why do you think they sent Alex to Muskegon?
I guess.
I rest my case on that alone.
Why? They don't want the young blood at the Oak Island anymore?
Well, no, they're tired. They're like, man, we have worked so
Marty's I need a break, bud.
That's what he's thinking.
Help your dad out.
Remember how we were talking about the younger generation kind of stepping up, learning, taking on some of this next generation of stuff. And I think this is the real opportunity for Alex to show that.
Yeah, you got the torch was passed to Alex on Civil War Gold.
And I think he is highly analytical like his father.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. And it kind of went to the point of what I was saying before with the curse of Civil War gold, is that I was afraid it was the crew seemed to be all Ricks, very hopeful, high spirits, no matter what Kevin Dykstra said, they were like, yes, let's go. There's got to be someone there that's going to contest, push your theories outside of what your initial form of thinking is. And I think that's where Alex can come in and challenge them.
They need somebody like that.
Every Rick needs a Marty.
Boom.
Goes the dynamite.
That should be like on a t-shirt or something. Or
Every
like
Rick needs a Marty.
Sticker. Yeah.
Every Dustin needs a Deidre.
Yeah. Does
Booyah.
every Deidre need a Dustin?
I guess.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, they kind of wrap up talking about all the things that they have found, the coins, the buttons, the bones, everything else, et cetera, et cetera. But Marty says that he thinks there might not be enough evidence.
Yeah, what is that?
Did you get Dan Blankenship's reply to that?
Well, he says, what does he say? I didn't catch the first. Let's see here.
Out of all 7 pages of your notes, you didn't write down
I got
his
quote of, I mean, that's evidence. You can't take that away. I mean, you can ignore it, but at your own peril. I like that you said you could ignore evidence at your own peril. Like, I felt like it was your own demise.
Yeah.
Don't ignore Dan's advice.
Yeah, well, Dan has spoken. Boom.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah, don't ignore the stuff that's staring you right in the face, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm. Don't look a gift horse in its mouth.
Well, that's kind of the end of the episode. Then they kind of say their goodbyes and
yes,
they get out.
Real heartfelt scene. Everybody's got the hand in, all in, everybody in, friends, family, fellowship of the dig.
Yeah, they all put their hands in and say, what did they say?
I don't know. He gave them a really long thing to say, and I was like, that's not usually how the hands in.
Yeah, but it was like just a feel-good moment. And then at the end, like as they're pulling their hands away, you can see that Rick had his hand on Dan Blankenship's hand, holding it toward the center. So Rick kind of had 2 hands in, but he was making sure that Dan was part of the celebration too.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, that kind of gave me a little bit of goosebumps. I was like, oh, that's just super sweet and nice. And it, at this point, knowing what we know, touches your heart a little bit,
Yeah.
Special moment.
It is.
Well, Marty and Rick, as everybody's kind of leaving, Marty has like this little quote. They're both talking like in a little interview style kind of thing. And Marty said, it started off as a bit of a lark, buying this island.
Now we've been forced to pay attention.
Yeah, and look what they've gotten themselves into now, right?
Can you think one day, I'm just going to do this, figure out if we can solve it, and then all of a sudden you're on a TV show and you've got people writing you from all over the world, telling you their theories, being so excited about it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That is, a lot of people look up to them, right?
Yeah, and I think that's really awesome. They've created something fun and exciting for people to look forward to, for new people to connect over, and have really
give people something to hope about too. It inspires people. They're probably role models in their own lives, but they become role models in
a much bigger fashion.
Yeah, like
which
a
is
lot
great.
of people look up to them, and
that relationship between Marty and Rick is it's very dynamic, and it's really cool to watch within this hunt. And, it gives you the feel goods, and it inspires others to do fun things like that, to get out and do something.
It's really cool that Rick convinced his rich little brother to buy this island, basically.
I love it. I love it so much. And pretty much anything Rick wants to do, Marty's going to do it. He looks up to his big brother.
Yeah, a couple of seasons ago, Marty would have been, he was like kind of like poo-pooing on a lot of things, right? But now he's just like, let's just do it. He's like, like in the next thing we're about to talk about, I guess I got to dig in the swamp.
Yes.
Stinky, smelly, putrid swamp,
He doesn't have a problem with the swamp. He has the problem with the smell. I feel you. I feel you, man.
Just don't take your Flonase that day, right?
Yeah, make sure your nostrils are nice and clogged.
Right. Yeah, so they kind of ride off in the sunset, and the last little image we get is Dan Blankenship in his golf cart rounding the
Yep.
corner.
Mm-hmm.
That gave me goosebumps, too.
Yes. And they didn't know at the time that they got that shot but no Dan to be such a big part of Oak Islands. Like we see in the next segment, they say, who is it Rick that says there would be no Oak Island without Dan?
Yeah, let's just touch on that whole part of that episode before we get into the seismic stuff with the swamp. But yeah, Dan, they had a little tribute to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said that Dan lived and breathed Oak Island. He might have been the real treasure of Oak Island. Guarantee he is a treasure of Oak Island.
No doubt.
He had an unconquerable spirit, Rick said.
I would definitely agree with that.
Well, nothing can change his mind, right? He's been all in for over half his life. He was going to find it, and there was nothing that was going to stop him.
53 years of his life searching.
It's a long time. It's a good thing he got some help at the end, right?
Yes.
It was funny when Marty was talking about like the first time they had met the first time that they had met Dan, and he was already in his like mid 70s.
Mm-hmm.
He was already in his mid 70s, and Rick and Marty weren't. They still got another 10 or 15 years or whatever until they get to that point. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy, and I don't know.
No, you see the picture of Craig and Dan and Marty and Rick all there together, and you realize, oh wow, they've been at this quite a while.
Yeah.
And they all look older than they did to start.
Yeah, it was funny. They did some flashbacks of Dan from like the first season,
Mm-hmm.
and he does look a lot like more chipper and young and spry.
Or as Craig called him, salty.
And intense.
Intense. No, yeah, he called him intense, and that was the one word that kept coming up.
Intensity.
And Dan H., so Hensky, talked about meeting him at the Restall's cabin.
In the scuba gear?
Yep, in 1965. And he said that Dan was very businesslike. And I was thinking, I could see that. Very straightforward, very wise. He's seen a lot in his life.
Yeah. Well, there's a flashback of where Dan Blankenship was sitting in his golf cart, and Dan Hensky was standing next to the golf cart, and they're having like a little fun moment of just, chatting and remembering about the past. Yeah, he worked with him a long, long time.
Yeah, he did. It was nice to have Dave Blankenship, come in, say a little something.
Yeah, he kind of gave the final words, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best place for him to do it, for his dad.
Oh, yeah. And he said when Dave's mother died 8 years ago, it really took a lot out of Dan. What did he say? It took the heart out of Dad, is what he said. And he was so glad that they could finally be together again.
Yeah.
Because they were quite a pair. He just absolutely adored her.
Yeah, it was funny when they would show flashbacks of him wearing her hat.
That was the best.
Yeah.
I love it. Especially when
He
he's out
loved it
mowing
too.
the lawn.
He loved it too. Another funny thing that Dave had said was there was 3 ways of doing things on Oak Island. There was the easy way, there was the hard way, and then there was Dad's way. And Dad's way seemed to be pretty difficult too.
Yeah. Oh, I know that feeling. I had a dad like that. There was always a way. Oh, so crazy.
I feel like I have that at my house right now.
You must be talking about Emma.
No, you.
Me?
Yeah, I could do things the easy way. I could do them the hard way. I could do them your way, which is twice as hard as the hard way.
No, your way is always way more complicated.
Okay.
I keep it simple. I'm straightforward, open-minded. You're the challenge.
Not. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of how the tribute wrapped up, and it was really sweet and really heartfelt. Matty Blake had expressed a lot of his sentiments too. I appreciate that they did something like this to wrap up the season because he's such a iconic figure
Mm-hmm.
in the Oak Island legend, really. He's a legend within the legend.
A legend within the legend. He is the legend. He's the real treasure.
And so apparently they didn't get to tell him about results of the seismic testing before he passed.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
That might be good and bad because he didn't focus a lot in the swamp. That was Fred Nolan's thing.
That's
and Fred
true.
Nolan was a rival.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, they
so-
buried the hatchet, but
I know,
still.
but he's still a rival.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if he would have learned that before,
Oh, man.
and what if that could have made him feel really happy or felt really sad? I don't know.
Like,
what do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm sure he would have been happy, but like he could have been like, man, I should have spent more time
working
swamp.
with each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you take a look at what the results show and that there are anomalies linking towards the money pit, then really what they needed to be able to do was to work together.
Yeah, and very hard to do when you're at odds like that for decades.
And we see that happen in all kinds of situations in different treasure hunts. And yeah, it's kind of bananas.
Everybody wants to be the one that solves it.
Well, of course.
If the two of them solved it together, they would get co-billing. And whose name comes first? That's another fight.
Chicken or the egg? Deidre comes first.
Right.
Okay, let's go into War Room 1, where Maddie Blake shows up.
Yeah, that's the war room in Michigan.
Yes.
Traverse City.
Yes.
So what does Maddie do?
Maddie shows up, and he's stoked. Stoked!
Isn't he always stoked?
He is, but as they point out, this is a little different than what he normally does. Because right now, instead of them giving him some extra things, he's seeing results at the same time they are.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where they have to be cryptic with him. They can't tell him what's going on. They're like, you just watch, Maddie. You're going to enjoy what you see or whatever. Well, this time, they had no idea what was coming, same as me. So that was cool. That was a nice twist.
Ooh, a twist.
Maybe a Falcon twist.
Ooh. All right, Alex Lagina. Okay, let me back up here. So, Maddie Blake shows up, joins them at the table, and
Who else is there?
who do we have? We have Alex Lagina, Jack, Craig, Rick, Marty, and then Big Alex, Tall Alex,
No, that's Alex the Giant.
Alex the Giant, and
Jeremy Church.
Jeremy Church join them. I think that was everybody, right?
No, there's one other person from Eagle Canada, but I don't remember his name. I think it was Clint. I could be wrong, though. I don't remember. I didn't write it down. My bad. Sorry.
It seems like everybody's excited.
Well, everybody's hopeful.
Hopeful.
But Marty isn't sure what to feel at this point.
Well, Maddie asks each of them kind of what they're feeling. Alex is excited but leery, which is kind of that totally a Marty thing to say.
Yeah, except for Marty's, like, more leery.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to get his hopes up.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what Alex is saying.
Yeah.
And Jack is holding back a little, but think there's a good chance they'll find something. Craig is confident that they will get good data, but that's it. He's not saying whether or not he thinks there's actually going to be something in there, but he is confident that the data will be good. I thought that was a really interesting response. He's probably the most leery.
It's a very safe way of having his feelings be put out there.
Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting because when all was said and done, he said that he still needed to go through the detailed results with Jeremy.
Yeah. He
is hyper skeptical, and he's the guy that wants all the little data points and to drill down to ask all those extra questions. I think
that's probably why he and Marty are such a good team.
I bet you anything, he felt like I did when they had to go out there and do the caulking on the dam, and when certain results came up with seismic, and he wants to see like the data behind the data. And I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can really appreciate that. Good job, Craig.
Good job, Craig.
Good job. I feel you, man.
He needs the data.
The data behind the data.
Yeah, Marty needs the data too. Okay, so Marty needs the data. Craig needs the data behind the data.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one deeper.
Yeah, well, Alex and Jeremy, they do sit down. They ask Alex, and I guess they probably asked Jeremy too, but they asked like a broad question like, how excited are you guys about this data that you're about to show us? And
on a scale from 1 to 10.
That's where Alex says, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 11. So that's not getting their hopes up right off the bat, is it?
No, not at all.
So Jeremy says there are 4 key anomalies found in the seismic data.
Yes, so 2 highland anomalies. So areas above the swamp look like east.
Yeah, kind of
Higher
south
land.
of the mega bin and west of the money pit.
Alex says it seems like an entrance to, like you would see to stairs, or, they talk about an entrance like a door.
To a basement.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, okay, that seems really specific to me.
Yeah, well, and then they talk about the connector anomaly where it might connect that point to the money pit.
But
whoa,
as we get closer to that area, it makes me think, I don't know, there's so much disturbance that's happened in the money pit area. I'm leery about that anomaly, but at the same time, it's coming from all the way over there.
Can I call you Alex too? If you're leery like
if
him?
I'm leery like Alex.
Yeah, that could be like a meme or something. I'm leery like that Alex, right?
Nah. No.
My bad.
No, it's fine. I just don't think it would be as funny on paper.
Probably not.
Okay, so we had the 2 higher anomalies, the connector anomaly, and then the swamp anomaly.
That's the big one. That's the one where like people's eyes open real wide, their mouths, some mouths probably dropped. I should have
tallied them.
Yeah, if it happened. It might not have shown the reaction when that came up on the screen, but I bet you anything Jack's mouth dropped, if nothing else.
Well, and it's funny because Marty goes, we're going to rename those. He did not like the names.
The Highland anomaly.
Yeah, renaming them. It's just funny. I feel like naming things must be a big part of the fun of the job.
Oh, yeah. You get to make these discoveries. You get to name them, right?
Darn right.
Who names the craters on the moon, you know?
You?
The people that discover them.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
So,
okay, the swamp anomaly.
Yeah.
We kind of, you and I dove into that a bit.
Yeah, so there's a big thing in the swamp, it looks like. They had measured it at about 200 to 250 feet long, about 40 feet wide on one side, and about 25 feet wide on the other side. And it looks like something that we've seen before. Like it's a familiar shape.
Yes.
And nobody wanted to say out loud what they thought it might look like. That was funny.
Even Marty, he'd only spell it.
Yeah. He said, "Okay, guys, let's not dork around. Is it a SHIP?
Let's not dork around."
That might be my favorite quote of the whole episode. That was pretty funny.
Hashtag, let's not dork around.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start using that one.
Let's not dork around. That's what I'm going to tell you all through the medallion hunt. Let's not dork around.
No, that's what I'm going to tell you.
No, that's
Every
what I'm
time
telling
you want
you.
to search some dumb place, I'm
Oh,
like,
give me
there's zero chance it could be
break.
here.
You took us to the totally wrong spot 2 years ago.
Are you kidding?
No.
We were like 2 blocks from it last year.
Yeah,
when
we
it
were
was found.
outside of the park.
Okay.
Should have never left. You convinced me that we had to leave.
It was a national park, and we didn't think that they would hide something on a national park.
Why not?
Because you're not supposed to remove things from national parks. That's why.
You're not supposed to remove artifacts.
Okay, you're not supposed to remove anything. That's why the Fort Sven treasure, people are wondering if it's in Yellowstone, can they even get it out without like telling authorities or whatever? Yeah. And if they did tell authorities, well, guess what? It belongs to Yellowstone, not that person.
Well, there's probably a way around it.
There probably is, but that's what people are worried about.
Well, they need to calm down.
And nobody cared at the end of the day when the thing was found at that national park. 2 years ago. Nobody cared. So.
Well, it also wasn't buried. Like, it's not like we're digging a 3-foot hole in...
No, you're looking behind a bush and there it is.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Anyways, whoops, tangent.
Yeah, so Marty spelled the SHIP, and Jeremy said, "You said it, not me."
Right, right.
Or yeah, that was pretty funny.
You said it, not me.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, this is what confused us because they said it was about 2 meters deep to get to it, right?
well, that confused Marty too.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, well, that's easy. We could do that."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess we are going to dig in the swamp. Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're going into more, what were those like diagrams
Mm-hmm.
about it, and those are confusing to look at too because the data they have can basically be viewed in any direction,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to get a bearing on what we're looking at because,
Mm-hmm.
like, are we looking at from top down? That's where you want to put your mind that everything is a top down because, well, it's not like you can look at it from the sides from underground usually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gives you a 3D modeling more or less.
Yeah.
Initially, we saw a top down,
Yeah.
and they show that by laying it over the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you get to the next slide and that we stared at for some time.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out what just 2 meters down was because it sounds like the sediment is like 2 meters thick on it.
Okay. So they said something about it be the bottom of it being about 55 feet down, right? And so 55 feet is a lot more than 2 meters.
Exactly.
2 meters is about 12 or 6, 2 meters is about 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So between 6 feet and 55 feet, well, what is that? That's what we were trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And Marty was trying to figure that out too, and he almost sounded like, oh, so it's 55 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maddie's like, I hope you're ready to dig 55 feet down in the swamp or whatever. He's like, oh, yeah, goody.
Mm-hmm.
But so what we were kind of thinking and trying to figure out and studying other kinds of big ships, wooden ships. Okay, so maybe if the ship's laying on its side
Mm-hmm.
and it's decomposed a little bit, and these wooden ships can be anywhere between like 30 to 50 feet basically wide.
Mm-hmm.
That's called the what?
Oh, geez. The beam?
The beam. That's right. So the beam is the width of a ship. And then there's all, that's different than the length of the ship. The length would be from the front to the back, from the stern to the aft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what the 250 feet ish
Mm-hmm.
would be. The part that's, I guess it would be, there'd be like 6 feet of debris or sediment or whatever on top of the ship. Then there would be the ship, and then that goes down to 55 feet
Mm-hmm.
ish.
Ish.
Or who knows what's underneath that too, right?
Oh,
Before they
yeah.
get to because the bottom of the swamp is at that 55-foot level, right?
No, the bottom of the ship is supposed to be at the 55-foot level. And
Isn't it laying on the bottom of the swamp?
Well, it's laying on the bottom of the swamp.
Before you get to like rock or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're kind of thinking?
And they were saying it seems like it is just below sea level, which would make sense being a swamp. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, I'm confused too, but from my best guess from what we've got is that the ship is probably about, I don't know, between 30 and 40 feet wide,
Mm-hmm.
and it's laying on the bottom, probably on its side, with 6 feet of sediment on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was probably originally around like 45, 50 feet wide. These are all guesses. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But, and after time, it decomposes, gets compressed, but, that's what's kind of left. Actually, you ever see shipwrecks on the bottom of the ocean? They're like,
I don't go diving very often.
We see it on TV shows.
Yes.
A lot of those ships are like just the very, there's like not much left.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. Forget everything I just said because I'm thinking about it now, and there's probably not much left down there.
It's hard to say.
Unless it's caked in mud and stuff, which it obviously is,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that preserved a little more than just direct seawater,
Mm-hmm.
salt water. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out next season.
Yeah, we see them with a much smaller core in the air because they said they're going to core it.
Yeah.
And we see the next season or whatever, and we see someone, probably Rock or Irving or whatever out there with doing.
Or maybe it's the sonic drilling.
It might be, yeah. Actually, it's probably the sonic drilling because it's a much smaller drill.
Yeah.
And they said, should be pretty easy to stick it in the middle of this anomaly and see what comes up.
Yeah, they're gonna probably do at least a dozen coring attempts on it, right? So we'll see.
So the Ark of the Covenant's gonna have a perfectly round hole right through it.
The Ark of the Covenant's probably in the money pit, silly. And it already has
Whatever.
holes in it and stuff. Who knows?
It's probably in pieces.
Yeah, something that was funny, Alex the Giant, he was like, hey, I'll go investigate if you don't want to.
That was funny. We think this is very important and that you need to investigate it. If you don't, we will. Better watch out.
Yeah, that's funny. And another thing that Jeremy noted, the anomaly, like when they drained the swamp, there was there was one section of the swamp that was kind of like raised a little bit, and that's where the anomaly is. So they kind of correlate with each other.
Yeah, they talk about like the peninsula that comes off into the swamp there, and it looked like it kind of came right up to that. So it could be laying on its side, or
yeah, I don't know.
So many.
We'll have to see, but it's exciting, is what it is.
It is exciting.
You know who was excited after Eagle Canada left?
Maddie.
Maddie was like, "It's a ship. We need to dig now."
Yeah, he was ready to go running. Man, I swear he like jumped out of his chair and everybody's like, "Calm down, calm down." Yeah, he was.
He was trying to keep his cool during the Eagle Canada segment.
Oh, totally.
Segment,
it took everything in him to keep his cool.
Yeah, but then he's like, "Nah, time to geek out. Let's do it. Dig, dig, dig."
Oh, that's funny.
So, I don't know. Marty was saying he doesn't believe that nothing ever happened on Oak Island now. So, that's a big deal, especially for Rick.
Yeah, it made Rick very excited. Very.
Oh, yeah, super excited.
I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. My name is Maddie Blake and I'm so excited.
Dun, dun.
That's all I got.
Cool.
You like that?
Yeah.
Real catchy there.
I like the little dance you were doing.
Yeah.
People can't see that.
They don't get to see my jazz hands.
Yeah, she was doing a little dance. She's doing the jazz hands right now.
I'm doing the jazz hands.
Weirdo.
Yeah, you are.
Maddie then kind of wrapped it up by going around the table asking the people sitting around it what was the most significant thing about season 6 to them.
Yes.
And Craig was like, well, it's the dendrochronology.
Duh.
It's like that hard data saying, boom,
it is.
Before, money, pit, searchers.
I'd agree. That's a really big deal. It's been the first definitive proof that's been able to take those who need solid evidence, that need the one thing, from non-believers to believers of at least some temperament.
Yep. And it gives them hard, verifiable proof that something significant, not, you get, like, what was it? I think Alex was saying the lead cross could have got there anytime.
True.
It was made a long time ago.
A long time ago.
In a galaxy far away, Naboo was under an attack.
That is not the route I was going.
Oh, I like that. I like both versions, but I like Weird Al's a lot better.
You would.
Yoda. Yoda.
He does live in a swamp.
I met him in a swamp down in Dagobah, where it bubbles all the time like a giant carbonated soda. S-O-D-A
Oh my gosh,
soda.
Yoda lives on Oak Island.
Boom.
Mystery solved. Oh my gosh. This is why there's all the weird ghostly things. It's actually like Jedi powers and mind tricks and such going on.
So, Oak Island's on Dagobah?
Yes.
Okay.
We're doing a wormhole thing.
Huh. All right. So, like the causeway, when they drive over it, that you're like going through a wormhole that you just can't see. It's like in another dimension.
Yes.
And then you end up on Dagobah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
That's
you
fun.
can see it via Google Maps. That's why
really
it's
fun.
shaped like an elephant.
That's why.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yep.
So
Anyway,
you heard it here first. Yoda lives
that
in
is
the swamp
that's
in
the
Oak
secret
Island.
to Oak Island.
It is. It's Yoda's ship.
So anybody that goes on a tour of Oak Island goes across that causeway. Good luck.
Wormhole. Hope you make it back to the other side.
That's where you say Godspeed, right? Going through space and time.
Sure.
Good luck.
Good luck.
All right. So Maddie kind of wraps it up saying they've given fans around the world joy and hope and something to root for. We kind of touched on this earlier.
Yeah.
But that's a nice little thing for him to kind of wrap up basically the very end of season 6 tied up in a nice bow. Yeah. So that's it.
That's it. That was the season finale and the drilling down.
Boom.
Boom goes the dynamite, just like Oak Island.
Well, that was what that's what Dave Blankenship used to do. He used to go get the boom dynamite. Remember,
That's right,
from the
down
general
at the
store.
corner store. I don't think you could do that now.
No, he would go get the dynamite, take it back to Oak Island, and blow stuff up, I guess. Season 6 is in the books, and we look forward to season 7.
Woo woo!
We also look forward to doing a number of podcasts about Oak Island this year before season 7 starts.
Yes.
Anytime we hear some cool information that's going on down at the island, stuff gets out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're not into spoilers so much, but if there's some big things happening that a lot of people are talking about and doesn't seem like it's that big of a secret because everybody knows, we'll podcast about it.
Yeah. If we've got any new theories or we just want to do something fun, we'll pop on.
Yeah, and we've got some fun little bonus things for you guys too. Like we talked about one earlier that we had mentioned on a prior show. You're gonna have to go back and listen to that to find out what it is, because now it's just gonna be a secret. But it'll probably happen in a couple weeks.
And of course, you'll be able to join us on our upcoming podcast, Boots and Armchairs.
A Treasure Hunters podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I already grabbed the handle on Instagram for Boots and Armchairs.
Sweet.
I should probably grab it on the Facebook.
The Facebook.
Yeah.
Do it.
And on the YouTube. That way you guys, if you're wanting to keep up to date on when this thing actually happens.
What about the Twitter?
Oh, yeah, we got to pull it up on the Twitter. Well, we'll do that before this thing launches. But that way, if you want to keep track of when it finally goes live, then you'll be able to see it there first and then run on over to your favorite app to subscribe.
Yeah. We do have our hotline, right? Our phone number to give so people can give us what?
A hotline. Who has a hotline?
We do.
In the 90s?
Okay, how about a voicemail line? Is that what it's actually called these days?
Just a voicemail, a phone number, a hotline?
Yes.
This is not an 800 number where,
we're going to read you psychic readings or something.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
Get Miss Cleo back from the dead.
Yes. Oh.
She could read your palm over the phone. Who knows how that works, but she makes it work, right?
I don't know.
Okay. So anyway, we have a voicemail line that we had originally set up for Oak Island. Mm-hmm. Everybody seems to be a little too scared to call it, and that's fine.
Know.
That's totally fine.
You can text it, guys.
Okay, you can do whatever you want. That's fine.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, so you could also, if you have any questions about treasure hunting, maybe you should call it or text us, I guess. Or you can email us and all the other usual things, but it'd be a lot of fun to get some phone calls.
It would be.
About treasure hunting that maybe we can even do on our first show.
Well,
talk
that
about
would
and
be.
Play.
You can do it there, or we will have a phone number for the other one.
Oh, you're not going to just keep it the same? It's not like it's that big of a deal, right?
I don't know. I feel like you should have a different phone number for it. Don't you?
Most podcasts I listen to just have one phone number kind of for their whole umbrella.
Really?
Yeah.
Not me.
Anyway, the phone number is... We'll decide, or
we'll debate this.
We'll figure out if we're going to get another
number. And you
can
call any of them. We'll get another number, and you can call any of the ones you would like.
Just tell us, hey, I have a treasure hunting question. We'll know where to put it.
Isn't
Okay?
Oak Island all treasure hunting questions?
Okay, touche. You got me on that one. Different treasure hunts than Oak Island, okay?
Okay.
All right. So it's 360-836-4549. One more time. 360-836-4549. And call that number, leave us a message, and we'll try our best to talk about it. And
Try our best? Oh, we will.
yeah, well, I mean, we'll do what we can to discuss it in your honor. Right?
In your honor? In your honor. Call the hotline and we will discuss it in your honor.
Why do you always laugh at me?
Oh, because you say things like hotline and in your honor.
I don't. Okay.
You totally set yourself up for all of that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
I'm just trying to be fun and innocent over here, and you're just over there making fun of me.
Bah.
All right, so do we have Clotworthies?
Well, aren't we supposed to tell them which one won about a month ago?
Yes.
Okay, do you know which one won?
I do.
Ooh, okay. Hang on.
All right, so the winner of the penultimate Clotworthy moment of season 6 was...
Placed stones.
Placed stones.
Yep, short and sweet, eh?
Yeah, that's the one you didn't even like.
Well, because it's too short, but whatever. It's all good. I'm not the
There's
one
no
choosing
making
these.
you happy.
Hey, you know what? I don't know if I'm happy or not. It's hard for me to... What are you talking about?
I don't know if I'm happy or not.
No, about the Clotworthy moment, silly. So, like, I usually... If it's like a landslide, I'm like, oh, well, we're trying to not do a landslide. If it's close, I go... But I don't know. I just can't be happy. I just can't be happy.
Yeah, you're not happy either way.
Anyway, this was a very close one. This was like 52% overall to 48%.
And you don't know if you're happy.
I am happy, but I'm not happy because I like the other one better myself. But
Oh,
I'm not.
man.
I didn't vote, so
Babe,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I need a hug.
I'm sorry.
So you're not going to give me a hug?
Nope. I've got cords and stuff attached to me. We're podcasting. There is no hugging in podcasting.
Even if we did, they would never know.
If we hugged?
Yeah, because like they can't see us.
You can't see me. Okay.
Anyway, so that was the winner.
So, yay.
Yay.
Are we... I mean, this is the finale. Do we still have people vote for a Clotworthy moment?
Of course, we'll have it even a longer voting period. Why not?
What are you going to do? Run it till the season premiere?
No, 'cause
That would be bananas.
no, we're going to have our little bonus thing in a couple weeks, our bonus episode,
Okay.
and we can have it at the end of that.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Okay,
So I know you pulled Clotworthy moments, right?
I have.
Good,
And
I'm glad.
I think I've got... Yeah, hang on just a second. Okay, our first one is...
Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, two of the founding fathers of the United States of America.
How did you feel about that?
I love it.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It is. It caps everything off so nicely.
Yeah, that is fun. And who doesn't love the founding fathers, right?
Well, I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like however Robert Clotworthy says it is how it should be.
Well, guess what? He said Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, not the way you said it earlier, silly.
Oh, whatever.
I win again.
Again? Really?
Well, I always win, so.
No, really? Because I'm pretty sure the last post you put up said something about me always being right. Are you going to go change that?
I was just trying to make you feel good about yourself.
Oh, got it. Okay, let's hear the second one.
Okay.
Wooden boards packed with clay. More packed clay. A second wooden wall, just 5 feet behind the first. A third wall, found just a few feet from the other walls, discovered just one day ago at Smith's Cove.
Remix.
I love it. That was insane.
Oh, man.
You did that for me, didn't you?
Oh, yes. That is the only reason.
I was hoping that something like that would have happened eventually, but that is just great.
Lots of walls, lots of clay,
Lots of wood.
and lots of wood. Lots of wood packed with clay
Oh my gosh.
on both sides and only a few feet away.
That's funny. Well, thank you. That was great. That one, I can't influence a vote. All right. Go ahead.
I said you could. You would.
Nah, I
Can you
can't.
imagine? You're going to have to type that all out and just put like wooden wall 1, 2, 3, ... clay.
Something like that. You don't get that many characters on Twitter. I could probably type as much as I want on Facebook, but
Do like a super tweet, where you do them
Super
like
tweet,
back to back
Yeah,
or
right.
something. Isn't that a thing?
I think it is a thing. I think I've done it once.
Ooh, you fancy.
I'm super.
Super fancy.
Well, that is cool. So what we're going to do is, since there's not another new episode of The Curse of Oak Island until probably November, when we do our special podcast about a fun subject and The Curse of Oak Island, that will be in a few weeks, we will reveal the winner of this Clotworthy moment. To vote, just go to Facebook. That's facebook.com/Oak Island Podcast, right? And find our post about the Clotworthy moment, and you get to pick which one you want to win.
Yeah,
And
it's on our page.
Is it a page? That's not a page. I thought a page was
It's a
MySpace.
Facebook page.
Well, what's MySpace?
Your feed?
No, Facebook's timeline, remember?
No, your timeline is Facebook.
That's what I just said. I said Facebook is a timeline.
No, you just said MySpace.
Okay, what's
Because
MySpace?
we
Is
just
that a
argued
page?
over Facebook yesterday. You said something about someone posting on your timeline, and I was like, wow, I haven't heard anyone actually reference Facebook and timeline like out loud. It's just weird.
It is weird, but it said timeline on my notification.
Which is fine. But
I read
I'm
it.
saying that our page is like, because we have a Facebook page.
So what were you making fun of me a while back about MySpace? What did I call it? My MySpace what? I didn't say page?
Profile? No.
I can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure I said MySpace
Wall.
page.
You said
Oh,
wall.
Never
It's
mind.
totally
Okay.
the wall.
Okay, you got me.
Okay, I definitely got you. I win.
Sorry, you had
Okay.
to transport yourself back into the 90s. for
Yeah,
that.
I had to go find my wormhole and go back so that I could figure out
Early
what we
2000s.
were on. And
Okay, yes. You got me.
Yeah, a page. Don't make fun of me.
Okay, so
I know what to properly make fun of.
Okay,
So take
so go to our Facebook page, and that's facebook.com/Oak Island Podcast. Vote for the Clotworthy moment. You can also do that on Twitter. What's that? Twitter what? Is that the feed?
It's just look at
Oak Island. Okay, so twitter.com/Oak Island Pod.
isn't it just called tweeting at someone with their handle?
Well, but that's not what you do to vote. You have to like click on something. It's not
I don't
tweeting.
know. Just let's tally the votes.
Okay, we could tally the votes. Just go to Twitter, find Oak Island Podcast somehow. Okay, Oak Island Pod.
With the handle, because it's the little at Oak Island Pod. That's where we're on the Twitter.
Okay, find us there, and you can also vote for the Clotworthy moment
You can.
that way, and boom.
Goes the dynamite.
Your vote will be in, and then we'll be able to tally the votes next time. It'll be fun.
I hope you guys caught some of that.
They could have a little bit better if you weren't laughing at me all the way through it, you jerk.
Give me a break. You were just challenging me on the page.
Okay,
and
okay. Yeah, we're past that now.
No,
okay?
you weren't past that 2 seconds ago, but now you're past that because I brought it back up.
No, because you own me.
No.
You owned me on it, and so I was
do
done.
own you. I'm always right. You only get shut down when you don't want to hear it.
Okay, so you can vote for the Clotworthy moment, okay? That's the thing.
That's the thing.
So, got something excited.
You got something excited?
I have something exciting
Is
to
there an excited puppy somewhere?
Okay, I have something exciting to announce. It's going to make you really happy, okay?
Oh, will it?
I guarantee it.
It's going to make me happy or our listeners happy?
No, you.
So it won't make our listeners happy?
Maybe, I
Then
don't
why are
know.
you sharing it with our
No,
listeners?
okay, I'm going to share it with you and the listeners,
Oh,
and you're going to probably want to
right.
get up and give me a hug after this.
We don't hug in podcasting.
I know, but I'm just saying you probably would want to. Okay, listen to this. Guess how many subscribers we have on YouTube?
I don't know.
What was it last time you checked?
100.
Oh, I thought it was 98. You told me 98 earlier today.
No, I told you that yesterday, and then I went in and subscribed with one of my other accounts to make us hit 100.
Wow, that is cheating.
Whatever, I wanted to hit 100.
Oh, I thought you were going to be excited about getting 100 subscribers. So...
No, I totally...
So you did it yourself, you jerk.
I have a personal YouTube account, and then we have the Oak Island one. I was like, duh, we're almost 100. So I went in there and
so
subscribed
I should go
to
and
myself.
subscribe to our own our own podcast?
No, I just really need to hit the threshold of 100 because I think we can now change to having a handle or whatever they have on the YouTube.
Okay, well, I thought you were going to be a little more excited about that, but apparently you did it to
No,
yourself.
I totally cheated the system.
Hey, if anybody else wants to subscribe to us on YouTube, go for it.
Yeah?
I think that's a thing we should be striving to do, get more followers.
Yeah, but
there.
only if you're going to give us a thumbs up.
Well, we got lots of thumbs up. You know how many views we've got this last episode?
No, I haven't checked any of the stats on the YouTubes except for the 100 because I wanted to be number 100.
Well, we've got 3,352 listens of our last podcast.
Okay, does that mean they've listened to like 30 seconds or like, dude, I'm not listening to this? Or is it like
Who
they listened to it?
Why do you downplay our numbers? You shouldn't downplay them at all. You should be excited that 3,000 people clicked on our thing.
That's true.
So
I am very
toot
excited.
on you.
Toot on me.
Yeah.
Wow, are you 5?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm really sure. Okay.
Toot on you.
People really excited about this. We got some cool comments on YouTube.
Yeah.
Some guy, because I said, where did I say? I said somewhere that I thought this was our best episode, but you're like, you say that all the time.
You do say that all the time.
Well, I think we have good episodes.
And you think everyone is miraculously better than the last.
You know what? I'm not sure this one is because of your attitude.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
It's
okay.
all my fault.
Somebody had said that thanks for your podcast. I haven't listened to this episode yet, but I know it'll be good as always when I do. I said, thanks for your support. I think this will be our best episode. Yeah, that's where I said it, I guess. Somebody replied, one of our friends in Brazil, Antonio, he said, I agree. This is the best episode. Very funny. Right?
But apparently this is not going to be better because of my attitude.
Yeah, right? That's true.
You're grounded.
A guy named Russell said, this is cool. I have new bedtime audio.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So and we got another one. Thanks for these. You guys are awesome. So boom.
Boom. Hey, guys. Thank you.
People are enjoying us on the YouTube.
Sweet.
So thanks for that.
Thank
we
you.
came to the YouTube wagon kind of late.
We did, but we're learning.
Yeah, and we'll probably be on the YouTube right away with our new podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna need to be, I think. Maybe we'll even try out some of that like visual video podcasting going live situations.
I'm scared of that.
You're the one that made us go live last time when we were giving away the book.
Oh, yeah, giving away the book. Good. Hey, good segue.
Did you see that?
That was perfect.
Did you like that?
So we have books to give away.
What?
So,
we do?
Yeah, we're actually in the process of writing a riddle.
Ooh.
And this is how you're going to win the book. So the first person to figure out exactly what our riddle means, and the instructions will be with the riddle when it's presented.
Naturally.
First person to get it right will win the book. So anybody else that submits a right answer are going to go into a drawing to get another copy of the book because we have 2 copies to give away. So that is what we're going to do. And you excited about that, babe?
Of course I'm excited about that. I can't wait to finish up the riddle.
Yeah. So, well, the riddle's coming along nicely, and we will probably be posting it in a couple days. It'll be on our Facebook page, and we'll probably put a link to our Facebook page on Twitter so that you can get there from Twitter to, see the post. But
we'll do it on Instagram as well.
Oh, I don't know anything about the Instagram.
I will make sure it's on the Instagram as well. Okay. And we'll probably have everybody enter via email.
Yes, email.
And take only the entries that way so that it's all coming through one channel. So no, don't send us a Facebook message with your answer or a direct message through Instagram. We'll only accept them through one channel just to make sure it's fair. Yeah,
and we need to probably limit the number of guesses because I don't want to get like 20 emails from one person in a day with, I can't, we're not going to be able to reply to all those at once or anything. So
X number of guesses per day
maybe
or whatever.
do like, I don't know, like
We'll figure it
one
out.
guess a day or something. And
The logistics.
Yeah, something like that. We'll figure it out. But Riddle is coming. You'll be able to win a copy of The Curse of Oak Island by Randall Sullivan. 2 copies to be given away. One to the first person that gets the riddle right. The second one goes to, probably do like a month or something. I don't know.
That's a long time.
Okay, a couple weeks.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it.
This riddle's not going to be impossible. Don't worry.
No, of course not. We want someone to get the book and be
Yeah.
able to read it.
Exactly. While it's
It's a
still
good
relatively
summer
new.
read. You
Yeah.
know, you sit out there in the sunshine in your hammock and you're like, oh yeah, Curse of Oak Island.
What did Randall Sullivan have to say about this subject?
Yeah, goes the dynamite.
Okay, you say, every time I say boom...
Goes
you
the
say-
dynamite.
Okay, maybe I need to stop saying boom, I guess.
Goes the dynamite.
All right. Well, that's something exciting. Be looking forward to it, and I hope somebody gets it right and somebody wins. It might be you.
Could it be?
It could be. Or something like
That
that.
didn't quite work.
Yeah. All right, so should we read some reviews?
Sure.
Sweet. We got some
Got some new ones?
new reviews from iTunes.
Sweet.
And if we haven't read yours because it's an international review, because we do have a lot of people that listen in Canada, we've got a lot of people that listen in like England, and you know, like we just said, we have a friend in Brazil, we've got people in South Africa. We're kind of worldwide.
Worldwide?
Yeah. So if we haven't read a review, we're really sorry. If you can like copy and paste it and email it to me or something, I would
I'm pretty
love
sure
to read
they're
it.
coming to us now.
No, I don't get. I don't know. The ones I get say United States of America, United States of America.
Well, maybe we just haven't had any international reviews in a while.
Maybe, but I don't know. All right, so I'm going to read some reviews.
Okie dokie.
All right, so this one is from Jesse08.
Jesse 08.
It said the title is "It's Gucci." What does that mean? Does that mean it's cool?
It must be.
What's Gucci?
Really? Like the brand?
Gucci, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about
It's a
it?
Bobby Dazzler.
So
It's a good thing.
This person's just saying we're Bobby Dazzlers, basically.
Yeah, no, they're saying we're Gucci. We're like top of the line.
Oh, good. I like that. All right, it says, I love listening to podcasts on my way to work, and I've really enjoyed adding yours to my library. It's a fun show about a subject I'm really into. I love the hubs and wife banter. Looking forward to hearing more. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate that. And it's Gucci.
And they like our banter. So Gucci, stand by, is an Italian luxury brand of fashion and leather goods. So take that.
Okay. I like top of the line. That was a good explanation.
That is. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Oh, thank you, Jesse08.
Yes.
I hope that's how it's pronounced. It's Jesey. So this is from Burke Plus Ultra. Great companion to the TV show. Really enjoy the conversational nature of this podcast. Also, great to hear about Deidre's Billy obsession. And if I knew how to send this to Dustin in Instant Messenger or post it on his wall, I would.
Yes. I love that so much.
Do ya?
Yes.
You like it when our listeners are making fun of me now?
Well, it shows that they actually listen because they were able to make fabulous references
That is
there.
pretty
Like they could have a bibliography where they pulled those out of. That was good.
It was really good.
I mean, making fun of Dustin in just the right ways and my weird Billy obsession, spot on. Nicely done.
Boom. Dang
Goes
it.
the dynamite.
I did it again.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta stop saying boom.
I guess.
Because this is just me helping you break the habit by saying goes the dynamite.
I just won't talk anymore.
It's
Wait.
a podcast.
Just kidding. I'll have to figure out some other go-to filler word that isn't
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to get rid of those. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Burke. Plus Ultra. Appreciate that. Then we've got one from Jeremy. It says 100% worth listening.
Ooh.
Listening to these funny and entertaining two will leave you wanting more. I bet if you were to go to their house on game night, you would leave with your abs hurting so bad from all the laughing.
Yeah.
Dustin and Deidre, y'all keep up the great work and can't wait for the treasure hunting podcast. Ooh.
Ooh.
Man, I think he knew something.
I think they know.
Yeah, well, we had been teasing it for a while, right?
Yeah, that's true. But,
We've been wanting to do it for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Jeremy, that was awesome. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate those nice words. And I'm going to throw in one more, because why not? This will get us all caught up on the reviews I have. And since this is the last episode of the season, it's a good place to read the last of them, right?
That makes sense to me.
All right, so last one is from Moisty Salad. Yes, it says Moisty, but salad is S-A-L-I-D. So, spelled a little...
Mostly salad?
No, it's moist. M-O-I-S-T-Y. Moisty.
Okay. Moisty. All right.
Yeah, kind of like Dr. Horrible, Moist. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, they need to make a Dr. Horrible, too.
They do. It's a crime that it hasn't happened.
It is.
It's a travesty.
It is a real travesty.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have the song stuck in my head.
2 sweater vests. All right, so this is from Moisty Salad. It says, "This is great. Great listen. I would definitely recommend this to anyone who likes Oak Island, and I also like how they cover many different funny theories and making them up. My favorite is how Charles is actually a Mason who is hiding the secret."
And that's why we think of the Pink Panther theme song anytime he comes on. Do-do-do-do, do-do.
That's why he's sneaking around at night, right?
That's right.
Charles. You sneaky guy.
Sneaky. A very wise and sneaky man.
Yeah. So that was from Moisty, and thank you. That
Thank
was awesome.
you.
Yeah, that was fun. So
Guys,
those are
you're
the
the
reviews.
best.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Seriously, we have the best listeners, and in all actuality, yeah, we had kept putting this thing off, and wow, I'm just looking at the time that's running right now. It is ridiculously long. So if you have made it all the way here, whoa, I'm
Whoa.
impressed. Whoa.
Is that like that's from Blossom, right?
Yep.
From the 90s? Whoa.
And thank you. I didn't think they would miss us when we were gone, but we legit got messages saying, "Where are you?"
Yeah, where's the new podcast?
Yeah, when's it gonna come up? Where's the new podcast? We miss you. What's going on?
Yeah.
Is something wrong? Did you stop posting it to such and such? I was like, really? You care that much? Like, wow.
Yeah, they care.
It
Thank you.
kind of got at my feelers.
Do you need a hug?
No.
You
I
can't do that on
don't
podcasts?
I don't actually have feelings.
Oh, I've hurt your feelings many times. I can guarantee you have feelings.
Sorry. Oh man, that's funny
But
stuff.
it's mostly you hurting my feelings.
Oh, whatever. Jeez. Don't be a baby.
Just kidding. We don't ever hurt each other's feelings. We have the
Well.
perfect marriage. Okay, that's not a joke. Thanks for laughing at me, you jerk.
You did too. You
Yeah.
said we never hurt each other's feelings and we have the perfect marriage. That's not true. We're constantly improving.
Yes, everything is great though.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a problem. It's just funny, the idea that we never hurt each other's feelings or never disagree. Like, our house is rather entertaining. We don't, like, yell and do crazy stuff, and we don't typically throw things at each other or, nothing crazy, but we disagree often. That's why treasure hunting works for us.
Yeah. Well,
Because my ideas are always right.
maybe like 4 out of 10 times.
Okay, I'm at least over the 50%
I don't know
threshold.
about that.
I do know about that, or else we wouldn't have left the park 2 years ago when we followed you outside of the park where the medallion was.
Get over it.
Can't. Even when we drive by it to this day, every time.
What about
There
it?
it is. I should have had it. It was right there.
Yeah, you shouldn't keep saying that to yourself.
No,
That's not
you
healthy.
do. And I know that's what I tell you, is it's not healthy at all.
I don't dwell on it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Only, yeah, you're right. Only every time I drive by it, but
Yeah, I need to start learning like different routes around that park.
now that's kind of a thoroughfare. You know,
It is.
you can't get around it.
It kind of is like the main thoroughfare.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But I can't wait to start talking about Medallion.
Yes, it'll be fun.
I feel like I need to go buy us some armchairs.
So we could podcast from the armchair with boots on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sounds like a great idea.
that'd be fun. Yeah. If we do video, you should have like a pair of boots like on the table in front of you with the camera, you know?
Or we could wear our boots and they'll be sitting on like a treasure chest while we're sitting in our armchairs.
Yeah. Well, what are we going to do? Like, as far as like getting a clot-worthy moment or something for that, you know, because we're not going to have clot-worthy moments. We're going to have like,
Well, we'll have to have something else people vote on.
yeah, the boot scoot moment.
Boot scoot? What is
I
the
don't know.
boot
It's
scoot and
boot.
boogie?
Yeah, I'm just saying boot, you know, boots.
Boots, yo. Well, do you want the armchair boogie? Like,
Is that a thing?
no.
Well, the boot scoot and boogie is, okay?
You just like keep using that clip of the boot scoot and boogie.
Yeah.
What?
We'll have to come up with something. Hey,
we
if anybody
will.
has recommendations or like some suggestions, you should.
Yeah, some kind of moment for us to vote and
Yeah.
kind of help with that interaction
Do we have
with
an
you
email
guys.
set up for that yet?
Yes, it's bootsandarmchairs@gmail.com.
Boom.
Goes the dynamite. I didn't even notice until he freaked out.
As soon as I said it, I was like, no, I said it again. It's like a trigger word for you.
It's a trigger word for me.
It's a
because
reflex.
now that you've pointed it out, it's now a trigger word of your trigger word. Like your filler word is boom now. So I have to react to it. It helps you kill the trigger word.
Yep.
See, he was gonna say boom, but he went with yep.
Yeah. Hey, so something we need to do for the new podcast, we need to give something away for that podcast too, like a book.
Like a treasure.
Like a book that we can discuss about treasures. That'd be fun.
You need to give something away,
Yeah.
something rad.
Like a copy of The Thrill of the Chase, or a copy of
Jenny Kyle's new book.
that would be a good one. Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Maybe
That
we
sounds
can
like
get her
fun.
to sign one.
Boom. No,
Goes
don't say.
the dynamite! I can't not do it now.
Okay, I just want to say, good idea. I won't say the B word anymore. Okay.
Oh.
It's like I can't stop it. Neither can she.
Like, if you guys have made it to this like 2.5 hour mark,
Oh my gosh.
then I'm sorry for the number of times you've heard boom and goes the dynamite.
I'm sorry too. Jeez, it's unintentional on my end. It's just like
I read somewhere about that being a good way to like help break your filler words, where your partner of whoever like does something every time you do it to point it out, and this works perfect. And I didn't even know I was doing it. This is fabulous.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
All
let's
right.
tell everybody how to get a hold of us.
Yes. Well, hey, thanks for a great season, everybody.
You
Let's say
guys-
that.
It's great.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks if you've been here since the beginning, or even if you haven't. Thank you.
Thank you. You're the real Bobby Dazzlers.
Yeah, we've had a great time just chatting and having. This is actually something else that is really good with treasure hunting. Being a treasure hunter, before Deidre and I, I might have mentioned something like this before, but before we started doing the actual treasure hunting stuff together, like a lot, we didn't have a lot of hobbies we did together. And now we do this kind of stuff together all the time, plus the podcast. This has brought our marriage together closer than it's ever been. Even though I felt like we've always been.
Yeah, but
we've
it's in a
always been-
different way.
Yeah, but we've always been pretty good, right?
Oh, yeah. We've never. It's not like this is the solution to fixing a marriage.
No.
No, this is more like it's awesome.
Yeah, it's just something fun that we found that we can do together. I'm so glad I won that treasure hunt a couple years ago, because if I didn't, we might not be on a podcast right now, because it got me more wrapped up in treasure hunting, even though I had already been into it, but just not as deep. And then Deidre's like, "What? You could win stuff?" And then
Well,
she's into it now.
It was
So
when I solved a riddle without actually reading a book that you couldn't solve.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I am smart enough to do this.
yeah. And these things are for everybody. They really are.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to say one of the best things is we've met so many awesome people.
So many friends in the treasure hunting community. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Got lots of friends in the Oak Island community
I know.
too now.
How
So-
cool is that? And the fact that you guys have stuck with us all the way through to this episode, knowing where we started at the beginning as brand new to podcasting. Not that we're veterans now, but hey.
Hey, we got more than 20 under our belt.
Woo woo.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. You guys are
Hats
awesome.
off to you.
And to get a hold of us, how?
You can find us on the Instagram at Oak Island Podcast,
And
on Facebook at Oak Island Podcast,
and
on Twitter at Oak Island Pod.
and they can email us at
Why do I have to say it all?
you can email us if you go to your email and type in oakislandpodcast@gmail.com.
If
Sorry,
you go to your email and type in http://
That's a website.
I know,
Even I
but
know that.
All
I'm
you do is
sorry.
say, and
Okay, well, guess what?
And-
That's why you tell them, right? Because I tell them all funny, and then you make fun of me.
and then
Okay, so the reason you tell everybody is because you make fun of me when I do it wrong. So you're the one telling them, so you go.
because you
jerk.
make fun. Okay, you've already told them our email is at oakislandpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. And hopefully you can find us on YouTube or youtube.com/Oak Island Podcast, maybe?
I don't know. I have to figure out how to change our thing.
See, I
Just
thought it was
Google Oak Island Podcast.
I thought it was 100,000 subscribers.
100,000? No.
Well, 100's a lot easier to do than 100,000.
Well, why
so-
do you think I was shocked when I saw 100?
Yeah.
That's way less zeros.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Three.
Uh-huh.
So, cool. Well, hopefully that works. Whatever. And yeah, and that's it. I think that's the end of the show, right? Is there anything else you got?
That's all I got for now.
Be on the lookout for that riddle.
Woo woo. Until next time.
Boom. Could it be?
Goes the dynamite.
We'll try to dig up a treasure that is no longer there.
But if they were withdrawing, wouldn't they have shut off the booby trap?
Yes. Yes.
Of course.
There's no question about it.
Right, you don't know for sure if it's a deposit or maybe it was taken or whatever, but you could go on another island in Mahone Bay and I don't think you'd find near the things that we found here, so I really believe that there's definitely something in Oak Island.